Jahmhr Gibbs will get his touches according to his head coach and the staff, this Lions staff that is committed to getting him the football. Does that mean he's the starter? Does it mean that David Montgomery's starting? We don't fully know, but we do know that according to Dan Campbell, Jahmhr Gibbs will get the work he needs. Now, that puts us at this dangerous territory of, do we sell high on Gibbs? Do we hold Gibbs? Do we buy Gibbs? And that's the nature of fantasy football. That same question is being asked about Bijan Robinson right now, because Bijan Robinson has been being misused all season long. And even during the majority of the misuse, he's been a top 8 running back until the last 2 weeks. Things have completely fallen off the face of the earth. I don't know what to say on Bijan Robinson. I do know that in certain places I'll buy, in certain places I'll hold, in certain places I'll sell. In terms of Jahmhr Gibbs, I feel a little differently. The Fantasy Football Show News Edition, week number 10 edition, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every Monday through Friday edition begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
From the FantasyFootballShow.com news desk, here is your breaking news.
So according to Dan Campbell, let me pull this tweet up. This is from Underdog Fantasy. Code Smitty, by the way. Underdog Fantasy, they'll double your first deposit up to $100. I'll put that link in the live chat right this very second. Please venture on over using that link or using code Smitty. We may even draft tonight. I'm not 100% sure if we'll draft right before the end of this live stream or maybe in the middle of this live stream. We'll have to play it by ear, but hit that button or hit that link in the description in the live chat. I just dropped it. I'll drop it one more time, or use code Smitty, all of which does the same thing. This according to Dan Campbell. Let me pull up the live stream here and have that running alongside so I can read you guys' comments here on top of, or at least your YouTube exclusive comments. Dan Campbell says, I don't think that I see Jahmhr Gibbs getting 65 plays, but he's going to get his fair share now. I hate even any limitation at all in the report. Like that bothers me that you have to talk down something. I hate that part. That part does give me a little bit of worry. It's like, okay, what are we looking at? What's this really mean? I'm not saying I'm worried. I want to make sure everybody watching understands. It bothers me. Like, why say anything negative at all? It's not, we're going to give him 65 carries. I mean, let's just talk it down a little bit. But he did say, I think it'll be a little bit of a committee and make sure we get those guys their touches. Gibbs will get his touches. At the end of the day, this is all we want. This is all we wanted from the beginning. We have to keep in mind that he was never going to unseat David Montgomery. The words we wanted to hear are these words. We did want to hear he's going to have his role. It's going to be a committee. The fact that we're hearing the word committee is fantastic. And if you're a David Montgomery owner, you're probably pissed off. But the word committee is fantastic because that is basically anointing him a co-starter. It's not saying, hey, he's going to come in and do some good things. Him admitting a committee means that he's getting 50% of the work. Keep in mind what Achane did in week number 3, 4, 5 at, I think, progressively 35% of the work, 45% of the work. Don't quote me on the exact numbers, and then like 54% of the work. That's what Achane's numbers started to climb to. Achane and Gibbs, as I've compared before weeks ago, I did a live stream on this. They're very similar. Gibbs and Achane are very, very similar. They're both electric. They both have acceleration that's you can't even measure it comparatively to other players. Their ability to shed tackles and be elusive in open space and take swing passes like 50, 60, 70 yards house untouched. The fact that these guys can dominate in the flat, these guys can be absolutely aggressive up the gut if they need to be. We've seen Jahmhr Gibbs be an absolute workhorse machine. on full workload with David Montgomery out. He can be everything that the Lions drafted him to be. And keep in mind one thing. Yeah, maybe the Atlanta Falcons drafted Bijan in the top 10, but at least this staff is excited and they're feeling electric by the drafting of their number 12 overall pick, Jahmhr Gibbs. The war room was just absolutely ecstatic. These were grown men bear hugging each other, just jumping on each other, just straddling, saying, "We did it. We got Jahmhr Gibbs at 12." They wanted him. They drafted him. This is not a team that hates Jahmhr Gibbs. This is a team that absolutely loves him, and he delivered. Had he come out in 2-3 weeks in place of David Montgomery and kind of sharded the bed, we'd be more worried. We'd be sitting here going, okay, he didn't even capitalize. Kind of like Roshan. Roshan had Khalil Herbert, who's back this week, might I remind you, and he's a great pickup if you need an RB. But Khalil Herbert was out for 4 weeks, and Roshan just sharded all over the bed for 4 straight weeks. There's no shot. Like right now, what's Roshan's likelihood of grabbing the starting role? Pretty much 0, because he didn't do it when there was a freaking wide open lane to go get the starting job. Jahmhr Gibbs stepped up and hit a home run. This guy was arguably top 3 running back material the entire time he was the number 1 sole provider in this Detroit Lion backfield. Now, I truly believe that at 50% capacity, and we're talking about maybe even 40%, maybe 38 to 45%, let's call it 38 to 45% rushing capacity, you mix in the amount of PPR work and pass catching work and mix that in, and he becomes 50-50. The running back, we're not worried about rushes, we're worried about entire backfield touches. And I do believe that at the end of the day, it's a 50-50 split. Not to mention, David Montgomery has been broken twice. They know they have to lessen the workload on him or they will break him again. And I do believe he would break again. David Montgomery is getting abused. They gave him 30-plus touches or carries his first game back from the first injury where we thought he tore his knee up. He rushed back. They rushed him a week back. They gave him his career carry game the week he came back, and they broke him again. So I feel like this is all good news. I feel like people freaking out about Jahmhr Gibbs in the way this could be taken in a negative context. Smitty, still, he didn't get the job. They drafted him, and now they're saying he'll get his touches. I don't think Jahmhr Gibbs will be getting 65 plays, but he will get his fair share now. That seems negative, Smitty. I'm going to be a pessimistic Peter. You have every right to be, and I understand where you're coming from. I really do. I just think there's more good in this paragraph than there is bad. And when I say good, I mean like Jahmhr Gibbs doing Achane type work on Achane type volume. Jahmhr Gibbs, keep in mind, change of pace, feel maybe sometimes in the carry department, and I think it will at times feel that way. Monty, and people are going to go, great. It's going to be Monty on a whole drive, but the change of pace feel oftentimes gets a running back in there on a passing down situation where the defense is like they're replacing these guys. Monty's out of the game, and there's this gaping hole for Gibbs to rip off an 18-yard rush. I truly believe if he truly gets 50% of the running back touches, I don't care about carries, I care about touches. Touches are actually, the touch is more valuable than the actual just carry. Because it's a PPR point potentially. It's also yardage. It's also all kinds of red zone potential. If they put these guys on the field at the same time too, that will help. But if he gets 50% of the touches, I believe we will get maybe a little bit watered down version of what we've been getting out of Jahmhr Gibbs, and just more efficiency, more efficient, more yards per carry, more yards per catch, maybe potentially more receptions. And if the team gets up big, I believe they will try and rest Monty a little bit between the tackles and give Gibbs a little bit more work. So I think game script will also depend on how many touches Jahmhr Gibbs gets. I don't know that they want to break him either. If they're up big, they might pull both running backs out. But I'm just saying, as a game starts to fade away a little bit before they make a decision to pull both their starting running backs out of the game, there might be some garbage work that either one of them could get. But I truly believe that if you own him, you got a decision to make. Is somebody going to come buying at value that even if it works out for Gibbs and he's the guy you expected him to be and you're pissed off watching him excel, are you breaking even in that case? Then that might be a good trade. If you could trade Jahmhr Gibbs and Tank Dell right now and get an Adams and an RB that you can use, that's not the worst trade in the world. If you could trade Jahmhr Gibbs right now for Cooper Kupp straight up and you need a wide receiver, that's not a bad trade to make. Even if Gibbs continues to do well, it could break even in that case, and you're fine. You're fine watching both sides of the trade, yours and the other owners, succeed. You both win. It's not a bad move. If you're selling Jahmhr Gibbs out of fear because you're a petrified Peter, then you're probably making the wrong move. If you're selling him for a wide receiver 3-2 value, and because you're scared, like, back the hell off. You don't deserve to have Gibbs anyway. And maybe you need to send him to an owner that cares more about him. But we'll be answering all those Jahmhr Gibbs questions here shortly. We have more news right here. This one right here is relating to, and I got the super chats coming in. I see the $20 haulers, $50 haulers. We got Sean coming in with a 50 wad. Goodness gracious, Sean, I'm coming for you, pal. I'm going to put you right in the corner here so you know that I see you. Sean, absolute monster. Sean to the moon. We got a couple 20s, I think, in here as well. Ray G, I got you, bro. You're right here. Appreciate both of you. I got you right there. Just hang tight. Let me get this news out of the way. Carson Wentz signs with the Rams. Why the Jets didn't make this move is beyond me. New York's just sitting there watching Zach Wilson probably be the worst quarterback in the National Football League. There's times where Zach Wilson does look actually confident and competent. And then, like I said last night, the fear is it flips like that. He'll look okay for one moment, then he'll be absolutely 100% just cellar dweller trash. Very blessed indeed with his YouTube exclusive membership. Says 4 months of membership. Dell #1 last week. Very happy. 92% and 85% of Mike and Kate. Look, very blessed indeed. Where have you been, first of all? I feel like you only come back when Tank Dell does well. I feel like that's the only time we see very blessed indeed come back into the live stream. But I appreciate you being back. Carson Wentz, New York. What are you doing, New York? What in the hell are you doing, New York? You have one of the worst quarterbacks in the National Football League, and this guy could at least throw missiles down the field. Will he win you a game? I don't think so. But will he help you get your defense in a position to win a game? Maybe he would. Maybe your defense could actually win a game for you if you put a quarterback in that could throw the football down the field. Zach Wilson's garbage. Get him out. What in the hell are you thinking? And Salah, look, Robert Salah, maybe he needs to be fired. Because if you can't understand the situation, if you don't know what's going on, maybe you shouldn't be in that role. Because you have Aaron Rodgers, who is potentially, I mean, we're talking about potentially weeks away, according to Aaron Rodgers. And you can laugh at this all you want. You can pretend you're a fake doctor online and all that and act like you know what you're talking about. This fake doctor has a little bit more experience in this realm. Hold my beer. Achilles injuries for running backs are a death sentence, and that's why I've always said that Cam Akers will never return to top 10 running back form, and prayers up for him. I don't mean this to be in a negative way toward Cam at all, but if you look back at the videos where I talk about it, the odds of rupturing the other Achilles tendon goes up significantly when players rush back and try and do too much. What happened? Cam Akers ruptured his other Achilles tendon because he was trying to do too much. And everyone could say, "Oh, that happened a while ago, Smitty." You can tear things slowly. And the fact that Cam Akers came back and tried to play at the running back position without even waiting the full year was devastating. Now, you could say the same thing here and go, Smitty, how hypocritical of you to say Aaron Rodgers can come back his same year. It's a quarterback. It's different. The explosion isn't even remotely close to the same. This guy's going to trot out there. All he has to do is plant, cut. It's not a big deal. And he could come back. And he's saying he was overheard talking off at the end of the game. Players were crossing fields. There was a Derwin, and he walked up to him and he said, "Hey, when are you coming back, Aaron Rodgers?" And Rodgers says, "In a few weeks. Give me a couple weeks. In a few weeks, I'll be back." I truly believe this is in the cards. But Salah, you're giving This man, no wiggle room or motivation to come back if you don't replace Zach Wilson now. And I heard an interview that happened earlier today where Salah was put on the spot about whether he should move on. Why not elevate Simeon? Why not give Simeon a try? Why not bring in Carson Wentz when you had the chance? Why not make a move at quarterback? And you know what he said? Well, I don't know. I'm going to answer. I already answered that question. I don't know what the answer is. Fumbling around because he has no answer. He has no answer. This is an absolute travesty. And we're watching Garrett Wilson still somehow, some way deliver elite wide receiver 2 production, maybe, or close to it, when he deserves to produce super high-end wide receiver value. I'm just so I've had it. I've had it with Salah. I've had it with how they're misusing this entire team. This poor defense. You see Sauce Gardner walk to the sideline and literally just be like, "What are we doing here? I'm out here busting my ass right here, and what are we doing here?" Sauce Gardner looked so pissed off walking to the sideline. He didn't know where to go. You saw his back. He was walking around. It looked like Joe Biden out there just trying to find a way out. He was like, "I don't know which way to go." And he's sitting there trying to figure out what to do. Does he stay on the field? What does he do? What do I do? Because I think what Sauce Gardner was looking at is like, what do I have time to do before I'm forced back on the field on a three and out or a fumble, a turnover on downs? What do I do? Should I go sit over there for a second? Should I go get a glass of water? Because I know I'm going to be called out there in a second. Aaron Rodgers, few weeks away. You can say it's a joke all you want, but I truly believe he's attempting in maybe 3 or 4 weeks to hit the field. And it's going to be a fun thing to witness. This right here, David Montgomery, return to practice. Again, we talked about that. He's going back to his starter role, but with a shared designation now to Jahmhr Gibbs being his. It's 1A and 1B. It's not 1 and 2. It's 1A and 1B. I put 1A designated for Monty, but it's certainly not something that I think is going to necessarily determine the fantasy points. I think the 1B could outscore the 1A, so I want to be even careful using 1A, 1B. We'll get to Bijan in 1 second. Fields is, let's put Bijan right here. Fields is limited in practice, but this is all trending in the right direction, and I do believe that if, let's say they didn't want to try out Bijan one more time, they would have run Fields out last week. They just wanted to see what was what, and they know now they need to move back to Fields. And quite honestly, I don't know what to make of Fields this week, other than your dilemma will help decide. Like, what other options do you have? You know, Fields is hard to trust, but he's also got the capability, as we've seen, to be a top 3 fantasy QB at any moment. And I think there's still a world where he bounces back. So it just depends on what you're working with, whether you're going to go that route or not. But we'll look at your dilemma and see what's up. This right here, Khalil Herbert back, full participant. Nice that Khalil and Fields are back together at the same time. I think that's going to be good for both of them. And Kyler Murray elevated to the active roster, expected to fully start week number 10. And whether you play him, maybe you got Fields and Kyler, and that's a dilemma because they're both coming back from injury. They're both kind of unknowns. I think in many cases we need to wait on Kyler Murray decisions and Fields decisions until the 11th hour. Obviously, Fields, we have less time. Kyler, we have a little more time, but we need to figure out what's what before we start throwing around like, yeah, Kyler's in your lineup for sure, etc., etc. And then we got this little number right here. Falcons coach, if you call him that, Arthur Smith, said Bijan Robinson's impact away from the ball can open things up for other Falcon players. This guy needs to go. This guy is the worst coach in the history of the NFL. Hackett makes him look like a hack job. I'd rather have 5 Hacketts as my head coach than 1 Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith is a buffoon. He is a horrible head coach. He doesn't understand value, and I blame the Falcons ownership and the brass and the people upstairs for not having a heavy hand in this and saying, we drafted him in the top 10. Use him. You're using Jonnu Smith at the goal line. You're 3rd and 3 downs to try and get into the end zone. Maybe 4. Let's call it 1st and 10 at the 10. or first and goal from the 7, and you have literally, if you wanted, 4 opportunities to run Bijan Robinson, arguably the second best running back in the National Football League, if you want to just say, okay, let's put Christian McCaffrey at 1. He's the second best running back in the National Football League right here, right now, with a small sample of work we've seen, and you don't give the ball 3 times to Bijan, I guarantee you a touchdown. And if you said, Smitty, quietly, I'd give you all 4. We'll go for it on fourth down. I would run the ball with such confidence 4 straight times with Bijan Robinson. It's not even funny. And for everybody that says this is easy to see coming, as much as we hate Arthur Smith now, and it seems like 2020 vision instead of this 50-50 BS we're feeling like we're dealing with, they ran the ball extremely well last year, and they used Tyler Algier like a monster. And there was no reason to think an organization would take a player inside the top 10 at the RB position in a climate where no RBs really go in the first round and literally not want to use him. It doesn't make any sense. There's no way to reverse engineer this and redo it, get back in a time machine to fix it. All we know now is we're at the mercy of whether Arthur Smith, or at least the brass or the organization as a whole, can apply pressure to say, you start him or you're gone. You start him or you're gone. And we're at the mercy of that, and we have no idea whether there's any applied pressure whatsoever. And we have no idea if Arthur Smith is going to come around and pretend it's his own idea, because that's the only way he's going to do it. His own idea to maybe use him. And if you missed yesterday's show, we pretended to leave Arthur Smith voicemails, and I might open up the voicemail line right now, or the phone line right now, to leave voicemails. Don't dial yet, or I'm not going to answer you. Let's listen to what Draven had to say to Arthur Smith yesterday when we pretended we were leaving Arthur Smith voicemails. Here is what Draven got off his chest to Arthur Smith.
Hey, you've reached Arthur Smith's voicemail.
Listen, man, I am so sick of how you're using Bijan, okay? You're not even using him. You're a piece of crap. Your mustache is ugly. Somebody made you shave it. Probably your mommy made you shave it. You're a piece of crap. Bijan could be out here winning us money. I'm talking about Underdog Fantasy. Use code Smitty. Bijan could be out here winning us money. Flipping trash. And you should be made to run 40-yard dashes until you puke. I'm so sick of you, and I'm so sick of how you use Bijan Robinson. You're a piece of trash.
I mean, I could have said it better myself. Draven expressed himself like a monster. Draven came in, and then we had Draven even call back and try it one more time, and I said I was going to throw him a curveball, and I said, hi, this is Arthur Smith's voicemail. I'm sorry, this is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Arthur Smith. I'm sorry, this is not a voicemail. This is me. Can I pass along a message? And Draven tried to swoop into her DMs, and he said he's neglecting Bijan. He's neglecting Kyle Pitts. I bet he's neglecting you. And maybe I can take you out sometime. Draven came in like a monster, swept in. Draven knows what he's doing. And Draven, if you're watching right now, dial in right now. Let's give you a third try real quick to talk to Arthur Smith's secretary, who's going to pick up the phone and answer. And I want you to tell her how you feel and to pass along a message to Arthur Smith. So Draven, please call in and talk to Arthur Smith's secretary. And I want you to tell her how you feel and tell her to pass along a message. I'll be waiting for Draven's phone call right now. Let's get to these 2 super chats real quickly. This one from Ray G. Just listen to the Coast to Coast with Carver High School Sports. Okay. Arthur Smith is doing Bijan the ball only 5 times for the whole year in the red zone today. Even sports bettors are confused. Thank you, Ray G. Yeah, it's just baffling, bro. Thank you for the 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
I don't know where Draven is. Draven, dial in, bro. Sean with a $50 First of all, Ray G to the moon. Ray G to the moon for dropping the 20 watt on screen to start the show. Ray G, you are a menace, my friend. And Sean, you are going to Saturn, not the moon. Saturn.
To Saturn.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Just straight baller. Look at Sean dropping a $50 hauler. I have T-Law, Pollard, JT, Diggs, Keenan Allen, Ridley, Addison, Kincaid, Schultz. Opponent wants Diggs for Kenneth Walker and Puka. I would probably trade Diggs for Kenneth Walker and Puka. If you felt like you needed a move, you've got JT, Diggs, Keenan Allen, Addison, Kincaid. I mean, Pollard, your team's good, but I don't know that your team's like running away with it. So, like, I'm tempted to take this. I'm tempted to say, can Puka hang with Diggs? Enough to say, give me Kenneth Walker. I know people are scared about Kenneth Walker. I probably do this. He's in my division. What do you guys think? Are you taking Diggs or are you taking K. Walker and Puka? Please vote. It's crazy what a week does, because a week ago people would have said, run, grab this, do it live, get it now. Please vote right now for this super chat. Then we got another $20 hauler. Oh, that was Ray G. Ray G, appreciate you. Let me think. I think I got all the 20s and 50s out of the way. I'm going to be hitting these super chats in a second. Landon was the first super of the day, standing O. Landon, appreciate you. First super chat always gets a standing O. Full load drop on Dobbs and Superflex. Absolutely. I mean, if you got a QB available like that, bro, you gotta grab that full load droppage in any format, any Superflex format if he's sitting there. Puka Walker all day. Diggs side, Puka K9. Says Kentucky. We got Puka Walker. We got DJ Meat Missile says Diggs. Diggs. Wow, the Diggs votes came in like all one after the other though. It was like Puka and Walker was winning, and then it came like 4 or 5 straight Diggs votes by different people. Puka K9's kind of back in style again in terms of the chat. Tough to say. It is a tough question. All right, let's see if somebody else wants to call in and leave a message with Arthur Smith and his secretary. You got to keep it clean. I don't want any hatred. You got to keep it definitely dialed down. It can be a little bit, disgusting. I'm disgusted with you. You notice how Draven said you're trash. He didn't say god awful names. So if anybody would like to come in and leave Arthur Smith a voicemail, I will open the phone line for just that reason. One time, one person gets a shot, and that's it. Diggs. 4 Diggs votes in a row. This is crazy. How many Diggs votes in a row we got? Obvious Diggs bots, says Kentucky. The Diggs bots are out tonight. Smitty, put in order rest of season. PPR. Swift, Hall, Bijan. I would say probably Hall, Bijan, Swift. If I had to vote on that one, that's a tough question. All right, let's get to these super chats. Get these out of the way. Appreciate you for your first super chat. Again, full load droppage indeed, my friend. This one's from Anthony. Anthony, thank you for the $5 hauler. Should I trade Dell for Fields? Team is 3-6. T-Law. Yeah, I probably would take a chance on Fields in your situation, Anthony, because you need a big splash at quarterback, and Fields still has that capability. He certainly does. He hasn't even run much at all this year, which is so crazy when you think about it. He hasn't run at all, and yet he's had 2 top 3 QB games. Got Gibbs, Dell, Evans for Cooper Kupp, Javonte. Thoughts? Got Gibbs, Dell, Evans for Cooper Kupp, Javonte. I'd probably say that's pretty even. I mean, the Kupp Javonte side is intriguing. The Gibbs Dell side and Evans side is also very intriguing. I'd probably slightly lean to the Gibbs side, but certainly could go and flip the other direction at any moment with Gibbs usage. It all depends on Gibbs, and there's a lot of unknowns and moving parts there, as I just alluded to at the beginning. I just traded Pacheco and Noah Brown for Achane.
Got him.
That's a phenomenal freaking move, my guy. Okay, let's see. Breezy, appreciate you. $5 hauler, 7-2, half PPR. I have Burrow, ETN, Brees, AJB, Diggs, Kittle, Rashad, JJ, Achane, Pickens, McBride. Any moves to make playoffs? Thank you. ETN, Brees, AJB, Diggs, you got a team, bro. JJ, Chan. No, stand down. What are you going to do? Trade your great players to get what? More player? Like, these are all great players.
Alert. Stand down.
It's a fantastic squad. Unless you're trading Pickens and Kittle for like Kelsey. Like, do I try and get Kelsey? Sure. Rashad White, Kittle, and Pickens for Kelsey. Do it live. Past that, not too concerned about any moves. That's a fantastic move. So yeah, go get Kelsey. It's the only place you can really upgrade. Russian collusion with a $10 freaking holler. My boy gets a moonshot.
To the moon.
Appreciate you, my guy. This one is Smitty. If coach is smart, and I know we have plenty that should not be coaching Pop Warner, Arthur Smith, I think they'll try to keep Monty healthy for the long run. I do believe that will be part of the rationale of giving Gibbs half the work. I do agree with you. I think that this time around, and if they don't, guess what? They'll break Monty again, and Gibbs will be back in the starting lineup in week 15 through 17. But, I do think they'll keep both of them fairly active. $10 hauler from Swavey to the freaking moon. Appreciate you with the 10 wad. All 10 wads get a moonshot. Want to make one more league winning move. 10-man PPR 6-3. QBs Hurts, Watson, Pollard, Bijan, Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Ford, Warren, Chase, AJB, Ridley. Great team. I don't think you have a whole lot of movement here other than if you can't start all those RBs, Pollard, Bijan, Gibbs, Aaron Jones, I would trade one of them. If you can start all of them, I'd probably keep this team pretty well intact. You've got a lot of guys that need to step up, like Bijan and Pollard, but what are you going to go get? Can you trade, Pollard into Eckler? Probably going to be pretty hard. Achane would be a player I would try and move for, so like Pollard or Bijan for Achane. If you got to give up something like a Watson, Ferguson, Logan Thomas, Deshaun Watson, Aaron Jones and Ford and Bijan, Ford and Pollard, Aaron Jones and Bijan, Aaron Jones and Pollard for Achane and a wide receiver that we really, really like that's super undervalued, but it's got to be the right player. Those are all potential moves I'm willing to make, but I'd be hesitant to make a bad move, like a reach move where you're like questioning it, versus standing pat, because you got a lot of value. My team is Kelsey. My Kelsey for Breece Hall, Javonte Williams. I have Schultz. I don't think so. I think Kelsey's worth more than that. I think Kelsey coming off a bad game is going to be tempting to sell, and I don't think you should sell him. Not at that price. I love Breece Hall, but Kelsey's, in my opinion, still a borderline, top 10 overall pick if I'm drafting today. Yo, Smitty, I have Fields and Tua on a bye. If Fields plays, are we trusting him? Of course we are. Dobbs, Howell, Russell. Look, there's some good options on the bench, though, or on your lineup or wherever. But, like, Dobbs is kind of crafty, But I think I do trust Fields enough if he's playing, and he is. I mean, sounds like he is. Dobbs might be safer. Chat, can we vote on Dobbs or Fields? You might get a lot of Dobbs votes, to be honest. I mean, Dobbs looks fantastic, man. He's got the motivated squad, and maybe Dobbs is safer. Maybe I do say Dobbs until Fields proves himself. But that's a tough one. It's not an easy decision to make. Let me drag these super chats on screen here, and get them all organized here in order in which they've been received. Caleb, appreciate your super chat. You are in line, my boy Caleb. Charles, you're in line, my boy Charles. Dre, appreciate you. You're in line, pal. Let me put you right there. Dre to the moon. Sean Patrick with a $20 hauler. I'll put you in the corner. I'm coming for you first. Asan, appreciate you. Espinoza, appreciate you. Joe dropped a $1 hauler. Joe, there's no super chat attached to this, but I want to say thank you very much. I don't know if they let you do that on a 99 center. I think that's more of a shout out or whatever. So appreciate you. If there's another question somewhere, I'll try and look after I go through everything, but definitely attach a question if you've got one. This one, Caleb, appreciate you. Dog with a super chat, appreciate you. Elvis coming in with a $5 hauler, appreciate you. This one from Apex, I'm coming for you. Apex, hang tight. You're my boy, Blue. Apex to the moon. Shoddy, appreciate you, Shoddy. Dibbin, appreciate Dibbin to the moon, pal. Let me see if I can. I think there's 3 more I got to drag on the screen. Vinny, my boy Vinny, Professor Stroke, dropping a $5 hauler, and Salty Chopper is going to be queued up pretty shortly here. Let me put Salty right here. And now I think I've got everybody on screen that's dropped a super chat. And then Ben's, I'm going to put you here. You just came in, so you're going to be last over here in the corner here. But I appreciate you, Ben's. Thank you so much for dropping that. We got Fields. We got Dobbs. Fields is so risky. Dobbs, I might wait a week on Fields. Dobbs. We got a lot of Dobbs votes. So Dobbs appears to be the winner so far. Superfish, would you rather pick up Tank Dell, Deontay Johnson, or Kyron Williams? Kyron Williams by a long stretch, but I still want Dell. I'm picking up maybe all 3, but I'm picking up Kyron and I'm picking up Dell, no matter what. Nico, Pickens, Ridley. Yeah, I mean, you can't really drop anybody there. I mean, you didn't give me any one to drop, but I'm sure you can figure that out. Even if you drop your kicker to get the other one, do it and then pick up a kicker last minute, try and maneuver, make a trade. But like, do I like Tank Dell over Nico right now? But yes, but do they rotate? They absolutely do. They rotate all the time. So that's a tough one. JFam, I got you in the corner here after I get through all these other super chats. Sean with a 20. Sean.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Sean, my guy. Schultz and Ridley for Achane and Olave. Bro, I'd trade Schultz and Ridley for Achane. You're telling me you're getting Olave on top of it? I'd trade Schultz and Ridley for Olave. And you're telling me you're getting both of them?
Got him.
Easiest question I've been asked all day. And that's a fantastic one, my broski. Salty Chopper coming in strong. Salty, appreciate you so much, pal. Let me move all these over because it's kind of... They're kind of right in. Whoa, Dre. You're a little bit up in my grill. Let me move this over here. And then I think we'll have a little bit more wiggle room here. Let me see. Move that one over. And move that one over. Thank you very much. Okay. Salty Chopper sent Swift, received Waddle. Very even, Steven. You know, and not sure what to make of either one of them. Swift feels like he's trending down a little bit. Maybe he's getting worn out. I don't know. Waddle can't stay healthy, but I do love him when he's in there. So I could get behind either one of those. This one right here is from Professor Stroke. I'm 5-4 and just made some high risk, high reward moves. Traded Kamara and Gabe Davis for a JJ and Andrews. I'm fine with that. I mean, I could get behind either side. I'd probably rather have the JJ and Andrews side. Traded Dalton Schultz and Christian Watson for Cooper Kupp. Those aren't high-risk moves. Those are fantastic moves.
Got him.
Stroke coming in for a little pat on the back sesh. Appreciate you, Stroke. Nice job. Vinny, trade away Swift for Pacheco and Debo. Definitely. Smash that, because Debo alone could be worth this. I think he's very undervalued.
Got him.
Debo's coming back from injury. Debo looking smooth right now, in my opinion, for an acquisition. Dibbin says Eagles. Let the Eagles fly, says Dibbin. Dibbin, appreciate your super chat. Shoddy, come on, boys. Let's get those likes up. Shoddy ain't wrong. No lies are detected in Shoddy's statement here in a $2 hauler. 500 people practically in this building and 96 thumbs up. The participation and desire and drive right now to hit that like button feels a lot like Arthur Smith's desire to draft and use Bijan Robinson. Okay? Very similar correlation between the amount of likes and views in here than the talent on the running back roster in Atlanta and the coaching staff using that talent. So let's hit those thumbs up and do it live. Shoddy, appreciate you. I'm gonna check in 5 minutes to see how many Arthur Smiths we got in the building. 105, that's better. 105. 500 people, 105. How many Arthur Smiths are in the building? Let's find out. Apex, Smitty, I got Waddle for Dell, Bijan for Mixon. Waddle for Dell. Look, Dell could be better than Waddle, but I don't hate it. Bijan for Mixon and Ayuk and Mixon and Ayuk. Wait, hold on. Waddle for Dell and Bijan? I like the Bijan Dell side by a freaking country mile. Jeez, a comma, I thought we were starting a new sentence.
Got him.
That's unreal, broski. And then Mixon and Ayuk for Garrett Wilson. That one's kind of questionable because, I mean, not questionable, I should say arguable. You know, the Garrett Wilson side, the Ayuk Mixon. I mean, Ayuk Mixon gives you a little more firepower, but I love the Bijan trade. That was phenomenal. And if Aaron Rodgers comes back in 3 weeks, let's say, maybe Garrett Wilson to the moon. Paging Dr. Smitty, A-Rod didn't tear his Achilles. He probably tore his calf. Untrue, Elvis. He probably tore his calf. There's no medical possibility that he's this mobile this quickly. He tore his Achilles. It's been totally confirmed, Elvis. It's been 100% confirmed. And there could have been a higher tear than normal. We might hear that, Elvis, but he 100% tore his Achilles tendon. And there is possibility of this for sure. He's doing a lot of different medical. He's taking a very different medical route and using. There's a lot of stem cell stuff in today's world where things are a lot more possible than they were. And the thing is, like, he's not out there running hardcore routes. You're used to seeing a player like Akers go out there. When Akers is like walking around, you're thinking to yourself, he's got to run, he's got to cut, he's got to explode through a hole. Aaron Rodgers kind of just bouncing around, cutting, throwing, planting. That's really all he's going to do when he's in the game. If he's got to scramble a little bit, he will, but he'll probably take a tumble before he gets tackled. But he absolutely tore his Achilles. It's just a matter of how high did he tear it. Is there going to be some sort of explanation later as to, okay, the reason it was a little easier for him to come back because the tear was a lot higher than the typical tear or something, but he didn't tear his calf. I have footage of it on my Instagram. When Aaron Rodgers' Achilles snaps, you see the shudder in the calf, and it shudders because it snaps, and the calf goes into the Achilles. If he tore his calf, it would be very apparent. They'd be talking about a calf injury. He snapped his Achilles. You can't snap your calf in half, Elvis. I'm not a doctor, Elvis, but I'm one of the best deepfake doctors on the planet. Okay, so you come into my chat, Elvis, and call out my doctorism. Elvis to the moon. Appreciate Elvis.
To the moon.
Okay. Elvis, you know I'm joking with you. Olave, Kincaid, and Javonte Andrews. Olave, Kincaid, Javonte Andrews. I'd probably go Olave. Well, this is arguable. I'd say very, very arguable. Very, 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 very. I mean, it all comes down to like Javonte, right? And Javonte Andrews, Pacheco, and Addison. I don't know what this piece is here. Olave and Kincaid and Javonte and Andrews, Pacheco, Addison. Maybe you're asking me to. I don't know what you're asking me here. Olave, Kincaid, and Javonte Andrews, Pacheco, and Addison. This is a run-on question. If I had to pick between these, I'm saying Olave, Kincaid, Javonte Andrews, Pacheco, Addison. If I'm ranking these trios, but dog, I don't know what we're doing here. Caleb, appreciate you traded my Cup Stafford for Olave Kyron. Cup Stafford for Olave Kyron. I take it.
Just been Smitty approved.
Thank you very much, my guy, for the super chat. 2-7 PPR: Stroud, Lawrence, Gibbs, KW9, Walker, Kenneth Walker, Warren, Lamb, Cup, Ridley, Dell, Kittle, Schultz, Taysom. Got offered Devontae Adams and Connor for Cup. I would take the Adams-Connor side by a hair because I really believe in Adams bouncing back. I think we got here a little early, a week early on the Devontae Adams bounce back, but he's motivated, he's happy. You know, O'Connell's going to throw touchdowns. They're coming, but Kupp is an interesting side. I think you could argue both sides on that very easily. I think Connor's interesting. Full PPR traded Hurts for Puka and Swift. I have Kyler as a backup QB. Traded Hurts for Puka and Swift. I don't mind that if you need a spark and you throw Kyler in. It is what it is, bro. You're banking on Kyler. If Kyler doesn't work out, you're okay with it. You've taken that gamble. That's certainly good enough value at the end of the day. You're getting two players that can really impact things. I like that. This is a $10 hauler getting a moonshot. 10-team, 4-5, non-PPR, QB Murray, JJ, Olave, Amon-Ra, Kirk, Godwin, Rice, K9, Aaron Jones, Gibbs, Hendo, Kincaid. Put in claims for Keaton Mitchell and Dell. 8th place, Walker and Kirk for Jacobs. No, I'm not. I'd rather have Walker than Jacobs personally, but am I a week or two away from that changing? Maybe, but I don't know. I like Jacobs a lot more, and I've talked about that As soon as O'Connell was elevated, as soon as the head coach and GM were fired, it was game on for Jacobs' potential bounce back. But I still think Walker is getting just dismantled fantasy-wise from people after 2 weeks. I'm not ready to do that, but it's arguable. I would not blame you for doing it. 12-team Kyler, JK, Olave, Ridley. Who's JK? It's not. I mean, I doubt it's J.K. Dobbins. Who is that? J.K. We call J.K. Dobbins J.K. So I don't know who we're talking about. Olave, Ridley, Pickens, K9, Aaron Jones, Javonte Williams, Andrews. Traded J.J. I think he means J.J. there. Traded J.J. Warren for Andrews, Aaron Jones. J.J. Warren for Andrews, Aaron Jones. I don't think it's a smash. We're closer to JJ coming back. I'd probably rather have JJ by a hair, but it's not crazy if you did it. You need an RB. If you want an RB, I understand that, but it's tough to say. Trade Ferguson and Pickens for Zay and Addison. I guess, but those moves I don't really like. They're not blowing me away. I'd probably rather have the Addison side by a hair. What's your take on Martavis Bryant? I honestly, when this whole news started to develop that he's signing, he's going to be back in the NFL, but I don't know. I thought to myself, like, how long ago was this that he left the NFL? Because I've been doing this for 20 years. I've been doing this since me and Tom Brady came into the NFL and fantasy space at the exact same time, professionally. Like my first year in fantasy as an analyst on radio talking fantasy football was Tom Brady coming into the NFL. And so like I'm an old dog. I'm not trying to say I don't remember Martavis Bryant. I'm just saying I had to like ask myself for a second. Wait a minute. How long ago was this? I don't know. Look, stranger things have happened, but am I interested in Martavis Bryant? Do I think there's some sort of comeback emergence? No. I think people get excited about things like this because they're looking for anything, right? Help Superflex Dynasty team Stroud, Love, Hall, Kyron, D. Adams, Olave, JJ, and Njoku, McBride, bench players. Trade my Adams for Kyler and Waddle. Why? Stroud's fine. You don't need to do this here. Caleb, why don't you believe in Stroud with what Stroud just did for you? Why are you going after Kyler and Waddle? Oh, Superflex. Sorry. Yeah, Superflex Dynasty, Adams for Kyler Waddle. Yeah, smash. Okay, I'm sorry. Easy smash. I'm sorry. Dynasty and Superflex, you got to do it. I'm sorry. I got caught up in the Stroud. I've got a lot of Stroud questions today. Like, hey, I only have Stroud at quarterback. Do I go get so? And I'm like, I'm immediately I'm perked up and ready to like attack that question. Dynasty Superflex, go get Kyler, go get Waddle. Adams is an older dog. Definitely a good move in Dynasty Superflex. Smash, smash, smash. What's a better side? TJ Hawkinson, Kirk, Flowers, or Kittle, DJ Moore, Judy? What's a better side? TJ Hawkinson, Kirk, Flowers, Kittle, DJ Moore. Probably the Kittle, DJ Moore side. Like Hawkinson will still do well, but he's not going to be exactly the same. And Kittle is playing as good, if not better. And who knows if that continues. And DJ Moore with Fields back should return to some form of wide receiver, elite wide receiver 2 potential. 7-2, T-Law, Fields, Kamara, Swift, Gibbs, Sharps, Tyreek, AJ, I'm on Russ St. Brown. Ridley, Devontae Smith, Dotson, moves for the playoffs. Are we worried about Kamara's workload rest of the season? Not really. You don't have a lot of reason to be worried. Like what has gone wrong out of this situation for Kamara? Like what? You a little bit worried about one game? Like what are we worried about here? I think if anybody is movable, it's Fields. Trying to get Mahomes on the cheap, trying to get Hurts on the cheap, trying to get Tua on the cheap. Fields for Tua, Fields and Dotson for Tua. I frankly feel safer with Tua, and I think Tua is attainable. Past that, I mean, Swift into JT, Swift into Achane, using, players like Dotson and a quarterback like T-Law if someone's in QB needy mode. But like Achane, JT, Breece Hall, Swift for Breece Hall, giving up Dotson, like those moves, Parker, would be pretty good. Slayer with a $2 hauler. I traded Nico, B-Rob, Zay Flowers for Devontae Adams. I don't like that. I freaking love it.
Got him.
Smash, 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 Slayer. Adams is a great acquisition right now. Traded Godwin, Madison, Ford for DK Pacheco. I definitely could get behind that. Smitty approved.
You've just
Yeah, you've been Smitty approved. That's good. T-Benz with the $7.99. T-Benz, Hurts, Kyler, Bijan, Eckler, Achane, Gibbs, Amari, Debo, DJ Moore, Kincaid. Trade Gibbs plus Amari for Diggs, then DJ Moore for Adams. Smash and smash and smack. Fantastic, Benz. You do those moves, or if you did them, you do them or whatever. You're definitely in the championship mode territory. What's your thoughts on Travis Kelce? I'm buying. If I'm drafting today, he's still a top 12 overall player. I know people are a little fearful of him, but think about it. Every time Travis Kelce does badly, Mahomes is not really up to par, and I do believe that will fix itself. Thoughts on Wentz to the Rams? Get those thumbs up. I think this maybe gets me a little bit concerned. Let me just say this right now, that maybe there's more to Stafford's injury. But we also know that they don't feel competent in the backup position with the game, with what they saw last week, and they want to make sure they're covered. So let's scoop up Wentz before, the Jets do or something, just in case, because we don't feel confident in our backup quarterback situation. So, but it also makes me worried about Kupp and Puka, and I'll probably have more on this. Like, does Wentz mean anything? Is this a telegraph as to what could be happening? Amon-Ra or Keenan Allen rest of the season? I'm going to go Amon-Ra. That's pretty easy for me, but I could understand the argument. $10 hauler from my boy Key. Appreciate you. Keeley, appreciate you. 12-team, full PPR, hard to trade league. Just traded Hawkinson, Addison, and Pollard for Tyreek and Njoku. I like that. Still have Gibbs, Monty, JT. Smitty approved. Smitty approved. Great job. I'm rooting for you on this squad. I think you couldn't have done any better. Hawkinson, Addison, and Pollard is a lot to give for Tyreek and Njoku, but it's worth it because it's quality. And I think you get a whole bunch of guaranteed points out of that. Whereas Pollard, you don't really know what is what. I do buy Pollard low, but that's selling Pollard, I think, pretty high. I think you did pretty well. I have Stevenson, Gus, Warren, Chase, Amon-Ra. What are we asking here? Trade Chase and Gus for Amon-Ra Stevenson. Chase and Gus Bus for Amon-Ra Stevenson. Give me Chase and Gus Bus. Gus Bus is getting touchdowns. I know there's some uncertainty of volume. He got like 5 carries, but he gets touchdowns. There's a lot to like there. Make sure you get Keaton Mitchell if you can and cuff them together. Put a full load drop in on waivers. $5 hauler from Jedi. 10-man dynasty trying to get Garrett Wilson and owner is holding out. I have Devonta Smith, Ridley, Rice, Swift, and Ramondre. What offer to send? If he's holding out, I don't know that you're going to, I'm not sending Devonta Smith. I don't think he'll take Ridley. What's Ridley done to prove this for him? And so, are you trading Swift and Rice? You could. I don't hate that. Ramondre and Rice, I don't hate that. Ramondre and Swift, I don't know if you can afford that, but, it might be worth Garrett Wilson for the future. I think Garrett Wilson is still a top, maybe 5 dynasty wide receiver. I do. My JJ and Rice for Keenan Allen, Garrett Wilson, and Schultz. My JJ and Rice for Keenan Allen, Garrett Wilson, and Schultz. I'd rather have JJ. Yeah, I'm not trading. Look, you're inches away from. People say people aren't going to trade JJ Smitty. They've been waiting this long. Bull crap. I'm seeing it every day. You see it in my super chats. People are trying to trade JJ right now, and I don't mind it. And he's potentially available to come back right now, but he probably will miss another week at least, I imagine. But we don't know. And I think people that waited this long, you can sell them if you're getting Achane, Breece Hall, other things. But I don't sell him low. I don't sell him low. Welcome to Colin Walter for being a new YouTube exclusive member.
To the moon.
To the moon, Colin. Appreciate you joining up, pal. High Score League, shop Kelce and K9 for combo, Adams and ETN Cup, Aaron Jones. High Score League, shop Kelce and K9 for a combo of Adams, ETN Cup, Aaron Jones. So, I mean, K9 and Kelsey should get you Adams and ETN, Cup and ETN. And maybe you don't get it, but it should. And would I take like a Cup and Jones for Kelsey and K9? I suppose any combo I think could be argued, but I do think be careful trading Kelsey. ETN and Cup would be a great bet. ETN and Aaron Jones, Adams and Aaron Jones. Any combination, Kirkwood, and I could Smitty approve any side of those combos. They're all really, really close players. Red dropping a $20 hauler. Red, yes, you can call in right now, Red. I appreciate you dropping a $10 hauler here from Robert. Robert, appreciate you dropping the wattage on screen. 3 wide receiver, 12-team PPR, Lamar, Sun God, Nico, bench. Like it, I like it. Traded Barkley and Nico for Justin Jefferson.
You've just been Smitty.
I don't mind that at all. Robert, I think you could argue either side. I mean, some like Barkley a lot, and I don't mind that perspective, but I would take JJ at this point with the fact that he's knocking on the door coming back. Hey, Smitty, is it cool to call? And I have a few questions. Sure, Red. Appreciate your $20 hauler, Red.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Red coming in strong. Appreciate my boy Red. Let's see here. Let me drop these other super chats on screen. We got Stroke. We got Recovery, Superfish. Michael Vaughn coming in with a wad. Appreciate you, Michael Vaughn. Superfish with another $5 hauler. Thank you, Superfish. Appreciate you. Recovery, thank you, Michael Vaughn, Superfish. This is Finn's Fanatic, and then Recovery with another super chat right here. Appreciate your Recovery. Dropping a double on the screen here. Recovery says, hey, Smitty, should I drop Josh Downs for Tank Dell? Yes. And also, would I start Kareem Hunt or Jalen Warren? I would go Jalen Warren, but that could go either way. 12-team Superflex, 7-2. Guys, Hunt or Warren? Jalen Warren or Hunt? I go Warren, but Hunt's not a bad play. 7-2, Tua, Diggs, Josh Allen. I assume it's Superflex. Yeah, Superflex, okay. Diggs, Kincaid, any moves to make. St. Brown, Dell, Watson, JSN, Hall, Brees. You have Hall and Brees. Brees Hall, Swift, Rashad White. I'd probably try and trade Rashad White on the high. Not that I hate him, but just now you can maybe move him. You can move him and Dell for like Cooper Kupp, Finn's Fanatic. You know, that's definitely a doable trade. Either that for Kupp or for Chase or for Diggs or for some caliber player like that. I would definitely contemplate that right now. Use Rashad White and Dell to get that top 7 wide receiver. Can drop the Eagles D now, going with the Lions D to pick up Dell, even though I have Nico. Need a wide receiver. No room for Kyron. Gotcha, Superfish. I think those are all logical moves on your part. Thank you for the super chats. And if you have a follow-up, please let me know. And Michael, would you trade AJB for St. Brown and Swift or DK? I probably would take Swift and St. Brown if I needed a move. If you're winning, why do anything? You know what I mean? If you're winning with AJ Brown, let AJ Brown take you to the promised land. So I'm not feeling like there's an easy answer here. Just that if you need a move, you need a move. You read my super chat wrong. LOL. He wants Chase and Gus or Amon-Ra Stevenson. He will send me Barkley and Henry and Deontay or Debo. Well, it's because you got all these different forks in the road, Steven. He wants Chase and Gus Bus. I'm not giving him like you heard me say Chase and Gus Bus is the best side of the deal, so clearly I don't want you trading that. Amon-Ra and Stevenson, and he will send you Barkley or Henry. So let's just call it, I guess, Barkley and Deontay or Debo. So Barkley and Debo for Amon-Ra and Stevenson. That's not horrible. I'm not trading Gus Bus and Chase, but I would maybe take. And Henry's tempting, but I just think he's not going to hold up. But I would say Barkley and Debo's tempting for Amon-Ra and Stevenson. But part of me says St. Brown's the best player in the deal, and Debo's been injured, and that Niners offense is kind of spotty. So is he a good buy low? Yes. Is he a good buy high? And I don't know if this feels like a buy high or not. Barkley just concerns me. Will he even stay healthy? Will they feed him enough? At the end of the day, I probably say I'd rather keep Amon-Ra Stevenson and rather keep Chase and Gus Bus. But that's me. I have a little hope for Stevenson. He got most of his work on a big, long run. But at the same time, he had a good touchdown run. He's looking a little bit like there's a chance for him to bounce back. But who the hell knows? Maybe they run the ball a lot. I don't know. But I'd say Debo and Barkley if you feel like you have to make a move, but not the Chase trade. Thank you for the super chat. And the super chat to the moon. Sorry I got it wrong. Sometimes these forks in the road, they get confusing. Silver Brother in here. I got an offer. Trade my Burrow, Walker, JT, Achane for Jackson, Pollard, Cooper Kupp, Kyren, and Madison. Burrow, Walker, JT, Achane for Jackson, Pollard, Kupp, Kyren. Bro, I don't even know how to evaluate this, Christian. This is like an even Steven feeling trade. Lamar, Burrow. Let's throw Lamar and Burrow out. Achane. Let's see. Achane, Walker, JT. I probably lean the Burrow side. But it's really, really close, bro. Really, I mean, near dead even type material. Trade away Amon-Ra and Monty for JJ and Kupp. I'd take JJ and Kupp, but that's arguable. There are sides, both sides. Hold on 1 second, Perps. I'll be right with you. Recovery. My squad is 5-4. How can I improve? Dak, Pollard, Pacheco, Olave, Diggs, Kincaid, Hopkins, Downs, Hunt, Ridley, Charbonnet, McBride, and Kyler Murray. I'd probably say trade one of your quarterbacks to a quarterback needy team. Am I trying to trade like a Hopkins and let's say a Hunt, Hopkins and Kyler, Hopkins and Dak for just a slight upgrade into a, you have Diggs already, but Diggs type player, or in the case of an RB, a JT or a Breece Hall, in an Achane type of player. I definitely would be. I'd give up Pollard and potentially Hopkins for like an Eckler or an Achane, and maybe you can get Achane and something. I would try and keep Pollard if I could. I'd rather trade Pacheco and Hopkins for Achane if I can make that work. Hall and somebody, JT, maybe in something small. Those are all moves I think that are attainable using that combo player, but tough to say anybody would give you what I'm asking. You can bring back different players too. There are more players than that I would go get. Kupp is one of them. Chase on the low, Mahomes on the low. There's tons of players to buy low. Forgot to mention that my Gabe Kamara for Andrews JJ was included. James Cook as well. James Cook is okay, Professor Stroke. I don't know that he moves the needle for me because he's a decent add-in, but I don't know that he moves the needle too much for me. Like if I was on the fence in a trade and someone says, I'll give you James Cook as well, it barely moved the needle just because you don't know what to expect with James Cook. And they seem to be wanting to pass now, and they're going into pass mode in Buffalo where they're not even wanting to run. 6-3, Josh Allen, Breece Hall, Eckler, Amon-Ra, Olave, Kincaid, Ridley. Friend is 3-6 with Kupp, Puka, Achane. Try and trade? Yeah. I probably say Olave, Addison, Taysom is really fun to use. You got Kincaid and Taysom. See if he needs one of those tight ends, and then you can throw him like an Olave or a freaking. I would trade Breece Hall and Taysom, Breece Hall and Nico, Breece Hall and Addison for an Achane upgrade, and I love Breece Hall, but Achane is a player I want badly. Cooper Kupp, same thing. Olave to Cooper Kupp, throwing something like Ridley or something like a quarterback, but definitely feel out his tight ends. If he's really struggling at the tight end position, throw him one of the tight ends, bro, and let him choose. Also have Laporta and Kincaid, and Hurts is picking up Stroud, dropping Murray. Yeah, I mean, God, you got a lot of available players. Like, how is Stroud available? How is Murray going to be available? Like, that's crazy. The waiver wire is very, very kind to you. You've got so many waiver wire options weekly, which is fantastic. Chris dropping a 20 watt on screen. Eric, appreciate your super chat, my guy. Thank you, Eric. And then Chris with a $20 hauler. I believe this is the last one to catch up.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you for dropping the 20 watt to the moon, Chris.
To the moon.
Christopher is an absolute menace in here. Smitty, did I get him? 12 team. Traded Jacobs, Amon-Ra for Chase and Cooper Kupp. Did you get him? Did you get him, Chris?
Got him.
I'll say you got him. Not that other side's garbage, but like Amon-Ra and Jacobs, very good. But for Kupp and Chase, I like it. Maybe some would even hit the button. Some might say they like Jacobs enough to not hit that button. And I get it. And he's definitely improved, but that's a fantastic move. And you're 9-0. Chris, if anybody's going to question you right now, you're 9-0. You can't question a team that's 9-0. Dare I say that there's maybe one league out of 15 that I play in that is 9-0. If that. I think everybody in here, it's a rarity if someone's 9-0. You're talking to a 9-0 owner. That is very, very rare. Even in grandma leagues, 9-0 is very hard to so standing O on that one. Unbelievable. Chris, appreciate you. Nice trade. All right, Perps, you're live on the show. What's up, my guy?
What's up, Smitty?
What's up?
Question for you. So the other day I asked you about a trade. I went after it, and he wasn't taking it. It was going to be Mike Barkley and Amari Cooper for Adams and Jones, and that was before this past week. He didn't bite on it the first time or the second time, and then ended up making a trade later for Mahomes, and I gave up Barkley and Lawrence. Thoughts on that?
Barkley and Trevor Lawrence for what?
Mahomes.
That's a great trade. Barkley and Trevor Lawrence for Mahomes. I love that. And don't worry about where Mahomes is at. He's gonna be fine. Mahomes already bounced back 1 week. Everybody's freaking out, and he returned to his form, and now everybody's jumping ship again. I don't even understand how people don't really believe Mahomes at any moment returns to 3-4 touchdown a game form and doesn't even look back. Like, that's how Mahomes does it. I'm not even concerned at all. It's a great trade. And you know what's weird is in a draft, and this is why I always say quarterbacks deserve to be like first and second rounders, is you draft today and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is your rounds. You draft today, Barkley's probably going like somewhere here, Mahomes in the second round, and Mahomes is probably going somewhere in like these two territories. Like it's so funny that once the whistle blows and week 1 kicks off, Mahomes' value, or quarterbacks, their value go up. You can't get a quarterback at equivalent value to where you drafted him. And the reason you know this is if you do an Underdog Fantasy draft, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty, that link is in the description. I'm dropping it right now in the chat. I'm going to pin that link. We might even do a draft here in a minute. If you draft on Underdog Fantasy right now, you 100% will see people taking in a weekly draft. So if you're playing for just in a week 10 contest, you'll 100% see the quarterbacks go in round 1. Like and granted, sometimes you're dealing with just the morning and afternoon slate games. So you don't have the Sunday night game. You don't have the Monday game. And so you take a couple quarterbacks off the board. It makes them a little bit more scarce. So in fairness, that's why some of the quarterbacks do climb. But you could always wait, especially these are 6-team draft, like 6 owner drafts on Underdog right now. So there's only 6 people in a draft. There's only 6 picks per round. So even if you're dealing with a morning and afternoon slate of games, 100% there are quarterbacks left over that don't even get drafted that are top 12, top 15 quarterbacks. So in a sense, it doesn't really matter if it's a lesser amount of population of quarterback. You'll see quarterbacks go here. They'll go in the first round. And I think when push comes to shove, people value quarterback. But there's this mentality in the offseason that every fantasy, content creator out there says, wait on a quarterback. And sometimes it works out well. Like, look at Stroud. Look at players that you could have waited on. But Hurts is balling out. Mahomes will. That's why I think Mahomes has been the best buy low quarterback all year long. And we're walking into week 10, which is fantastic that you still have a quarterback opportunity like that sitting at your doorstep.
Perfect.
All right, man.
One other question for another league. I'm 6-3, 12-man PPR. For week 10, my only quarterbacks, I got Tua, which is on a bye, and we're unsure on Fields. He's the other one. I got a trade offer from a guy that I'm not – the upside to me goes to him, but I'll bring it down my lineup quick. I have Pollard, Ingram, Tyreek, Devonta, Ferguson, Rice, JSN, Gibbs, Spears, Sharps,
All right, what's the trade?
Connor on IR.
What's
he wants to take my Devonta, Gibbs, and JSN, and he wants to give me Adams and Debo.
Smith, Gibbs, and JSN. Devonta Smith, Gibbs, and JSN for Adams and Debo?
Yeah, he wants to give up Adams and Debo for those three for me.
I'd probably take Adams and Debo just by a hair. And just because I really believe Adams bounces back big. But at the same time, I mean, Smith's playing good. He's definitely still a buy low in some context because he's getting the touchdowns, but he hasn't. I think A.J. Brown keeps overshadowing him, so people still worry. He's the number two. He's nowhere near the number one, so I'm still not buying into him. So there's some buy opportunity on Smith, but I think you're selling him. And Gibbs, as much as I love Gibbs, there's still, we talked about it on the show, some concern. I take Debo coming off the bye week, healthy and ready to go. Adams coming back on a tear. I like it. I think this is a good move. I'd take the Debo side. All right, Perps, got to run to the next caller. Appreciate you, man.
Thanks. See you, bye.
Yeah, later. Nate, what's up, Nate from Wisconsin? Hit me with it. You got 30 seconds.
What up, City? Yeah, so right now I got Laporta and Kincaid and Kyler Murray sitting on my bench. I have Josh Allen already, so I don't really need another QB there, and I just kind of have to pick between the two tight ends. So obviously I'm trying to move them. I currently have an offer for Laporta for Garrett Wilson, which I don't really think I need. I have a pretty good wide receiver depth with Devontae, Amari, Nico, Tank. So I'm just trying to figure out what exactly I should target or what I should go for. I mean, a running back would be nice because I only have.
I mean, I don't really know. I don't have the information in front of me, but I would say go to is there a QB and tight end needy team that's is holding a Cooper Kupp type player or an Achane type player? If so, you offer them Kyler and their choice, and I'd give them their choice. I'd say you pick the tight end you want. That way, they feel a lot of control in the situation. And you give somebody that has no quarterback and no tight end, and there's probably a team out there that does it. It just depends what are the players on their team. But that would be the first place to go. Second is to go to a tight end needy team individually and a quarterback needy team individually and just say, hey, what do you need and what can you throw in to try and get Achane? I forget who you listed off, so just ignore if you have one of these guys. But for anybody listening, Achane, Cooper Kupp, JT, Breece Hall is tempting to go get on the cheap. Eckler's probably off the table now. I would say Ja'Marr Chase struggling is an attainable player. Ja'Marr Chase is those kind of players I think are attainable right now. An upgrade into Mahomes somehow. If anybody has that situation in a similar context. So that's what I do. So come back once you have some offers that you can throw my way. Hey, Smitty, would you do this for this? So go to the tight end needy team, go to the quarterback needy team, come back with some trade offers, and identify a team that might be needy at both of them. And maybe they're barely needy at it, but you could say, hey, they've got a tight end I don't know, somebody that's just doing mediocre, but you can give them a freaking Laporta or Kincaid. They might be excited about it. You can't assume somebody won't want to upgrade even a little bit. So come back when you got those and swing back and let me know. TJ, appreciate you. You're live. You got 30 seconds.
Hey, Smitty. So in my Dynasty League, I'm 7-2 with the best record in the league, but I'm 6 in points for, so I'm thinking I have to make a move. Should I trade Gabe Davis and a 2025 second for Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I'd do that. I don't care. Gabe Davis, what's Gabe Davis's dynasty value? Let's be honest, bro.
Right.
And a second rounder, I could give a crap about a second rounder. And Henry has no future value in my mind. So you're doing this for now. And honestly, if this could put you over the edge and you can win some cash money, get some more meatloaf in the fridge, in the freezer, have your mom cook up a extra couple batches that'll last you the summer, bro, do it live.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Yeah, I was thinking because they have Kincaid and Shakir's looking good too, so Gabe Davis might just fall off from that.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay. I don't hate him, but Henry, it's a nice little addition. All right, later, bro. All right. A couple super chats have rolled in since. Let me hit these real quick and then we'll we'll move forward. We got hopefully Draven's watching. Draven, if you want to call and leave a voicemail for the secretary that's going to answer live for Arthur Smith. Or actually, you know what? Actually, you might be calling ownership. The complaint line, potentially, that's being answered by ownership. We'll have to see. 253 caller, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Say it again?
You say it again. 253 caller.
I didn't know.
Where are you calling from? What
bro.
Cam, all right. Cam, what can I do for you? Cam from where?
Tennessee.
Cam from Tennessee. What do you got for me? Make it as quick as you can.
I got you. So I'm in a dilemma. Javonte Williams, let's see, Alexander Madison, and James Conner. All are my running back 2 options. What are you thinking I should start?
Probably Javonte right now. I mean, Madison with Akers out, Cam Akers out, I mean, is tempting, especially with the way the offense is humming. Potentially, but I would still say Javonte. He's getting the work. He feels very, very solid. Connor could get there though. You might have a good trade pieces on your hands if you can like couple a Tank Dell or somebody with a Madison with the Connor once these guys gain some value. I don't know when your trade deadline is, but if you're able to garner up some interest, even now on the spec that Madison or Connor pops off and you trade Dell or somebody like that. I don't know who you have, but that might get you a quarterback upgrade, might get you an upgrade from running back, a really decent running back, up to a, doubted Breece Hall that you could get low or something like that, or JT or whatever, HN.
I was thinking trade like Connor and Olave for HN.
Connor and Olave for HN, absolutely. Go get HN. Bring him home.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, bring him home later. Thanks, Cam.
Later.
Let's see here. Chris from Illinois, you got 30. Chris from Illinois, you got 30.
Chris from Indiana.
Oh, sorry. Theo from Illinois. So yeah, Chris from Indiana, then Theo. Sorry, Theo. Chris from Indiana, go. You got a fresh 30 seconds.
So, currently, and I don't know, man.
You're not starting off very good. You got 15 seconds left, and you said,
I need to do something. Or I got Wilson.
Your phone's breaking up, Chris. In Indiana, Chris from Indiana, you're calling from a space shuttle, not Indiana. Call back when you got a better connection. Theo from Illinois. Theo, you got 30. I'll give you 5 of Chris's time.
Where do you have Devonta Smith and Garrett Wilson rest of the season? Knowing that Aaron Rodgers is coming back and knowing that Dallas Goedert is injured.
Yeah. I'd say top 7 to 10 for Devonta Smith, and top, I would call it 11 to 17 for Garrett Wilson. We gotta be realistic. If we're gonna give Garrett Wilson a ton of like ceiling value, we have to equally be realistic that Salah and this staff doesn't know what they're doing fully, and just say that he ranges all over the place. It would even be fair to say 11 to 20. Like, we just don't know what we're going to get from Garrett Wilson from week to week. But what I will say is he continues to get you like 7 and 80, 7 and 90. Touchdowns are non-existent, but like, imagine if Aaron Rodgers steps in.
He's so good. He just has a shit quarterback.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, bro. But he's so good. He's so good. All right, thanks, Theo. Charles, you got 30.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Yo.
Hey, I got Gabe Davis on my squad. I'm thinking of dropping him for JSN or Dotson from Washington. Who would you drop him for?
Probably Dotson, because he feels back. But I like JSN as well. I think JSN has a little bit of league-winning sleeping giant potential. But the fact that like Dotson has 2 weeks in a row done what we've expected him to do all year, and Howell's been on a rampage for those 2 weeks, it feels like he is the solution. And so I lean Dotson. I'm hoping that the value doesn't plummet and he doesn't drop back down to earth, but certainly feels like he's got the opportunity to continue to do well. I love what Dotson's throwing down.
So I have another question. So I have Logan Thomas and Taysom Hill. Would you drop Logan Thomas and just ride Taysom Hill?
I mean, if Taysom falls off, you might need a backup, but for right now, sure. Hill's been getting used a ton. And, he could get hurt. He runs a lot. So, you don't know what you're going to be looking at a week from now, but sure. All right. Appreciate you, Charles. Later.
Hey,
Charles, thank you, Charles. I had to cut you off. I'm sorry. All right. Super chats. Let's go. Colin, $5 hauler. Tua, Hall, Achane, Hill, St. Brown, Devonta Smith, Bench, Madison, Algier, Parham. Would you give up Hall for Bijan and Komet? Probably not. But I think it's very arguable. I don't know Hall or Bijan who's going to be better from here on out. I think they both have the capability of beating the other one out and being better than the other one. It's really close. I just lean Hall slightly. Trade my Barkley and Moore for Pollard and Ayuk. I would take Pollard and Ayuk by or Aaron Jones and Debo. I'd rather have Aaron Jones and Debo. I'd rather bank on Aaron Jones continuing what we saw in week number 9. So we've seen it. He's coming back. He's getting fed. And Debo I like a lot. I would take that side a whole lot more. Eckler is my running back 1. Cooper Kupp my wide receiver 1. Yeah, Cooper, that's an easy one for me. I like betting on Debo right now. Debo feels pretty good. Diggs for Laporta, Achane, and Lions D need a tight end. I would take Achane, Laporta, and I don't really care so much about the Lions D. But I mean, that's good. But Diggs for Laporta and Achane, I would take Laporta and Achane if you need a tight end badly. That is a big upgraded tight end that goes understated when you're getting a guy like Achane, who I would draft right next to Diggs anyway. Downs for a mid to late first round pick. Absolutely sick nasty. I would do that. Z, on waivers, Dell, Warren, Mitchell, Schultz, Sutton. Give me Dell, then Warren, unless you're desperate for RB. I would force Warren as your top pick, but Dell is a little bit better. Russian collusion, should I do the same trade? My Olave for Debo and Singletary. Do this trade. My Olave, not same trade. Should I do this trade? Olave for Debo and Singletary. To be honest with you, I felt this way. I think you and I made a trade in the Marsman League on Debo and Olave. I feel I feel like they're very close. I feel like Debo coming back off the bye healthy is pretty intriguing. I think Olave is also very intriguing with a little bit more situational risk. I think they're dead even. I'd say trust your gut, and let's let the chat decide. Singletary doesn't move the needle too much. Guys, can you vote in the chat, please? Olave or Debo? Debo and Olave, please. Pollard, Olave, Dell, CJ Flowers for Tyreek, Addison, Moss, Boyd, and QB is Burrow. Pollard, Olave, Dell, CJ Flowers for Tyreek, Addison, Moss, Boyd. That's tough. I mean, Pollard and Olave and Dell is pretty significant. Those are some pretty significant pieces, but Tyreek and Addison solid, and Moss. I'll probably lean toward the Tyreek side just because it's more of a guarantee, and it's a very, very solid amount of player value. Zastro dropping a $5 hauler. Annie's on the phone line. Zastro, I'm going to hang tight. Everybody, please hang tight. Keep muted. I'm going to come back for you, Zastro, first with your super chat on screen, so hang tight. Devo, trade Ramondre plus Adams for Breece or Kamara and B-Rob. I would say give me Kamara and B-Rob, I suppose, but like Adams and Ramondre is nice too. They're all pretty arguable sides of that, but I guess give me the Kamara side. But Adams, actually, you know what? I'm going to say Adams and Ramondre. The fact that Ramondre has a little bit a hint of bounce back, just a hint of it, even though it was on one play really, but just the fact that he's doing stuff, he's out there, and I think Adams bounces back. I want the Adams and Ramondre side. Kincaid or Laporta, I'd lean Laporta by a hair, but I very much am in the business of trading away Laporta and keeping Kincaid because I think the trade value is more if someone was to own both of them. So a lot of time you'll hear me say I'd rather keep Kincaid and trade Laporta, but like Laporta's got a touch more value. But I love Kincaid, man. Part of me is like, if you own both, I want Kincaid. Swift by starting Khalil. I guess Avon. We kind of got to play it by ear with the news on Khalil. What's his snap count looking like? Is he going to be on a pitch count? Might start Ridley over Wilson, Garrett Wilson. I don't mind that overcome. I don't mind that at all. If it's Michael Wilson, of course. Smitty, take Adams, Ridley for Dell and Garrett Wilson. I take Adams and Ridley pretty easily. Christopher, would you start Murray or Minshew? I would start Kyler Murray. Anything can happen, though, so trust your gut. Herbert with the Bears, good matchup, or Gibbs? Come on, Devonna, you can't sit Gibbs right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? Gibbs has been a top 5 running back, and his coach said we're feeding him. You can't sit Gibbs. You just can't. It doesn't matter what that other side does. Gibbs is a starter. You caught me. I was thinking it was fair. Others think you killed it. Thank you, Russian. Appreciate you. This is a $5 hauler. 7-2. Got Mahomes, Bijan, Gibbs, Chase, Debo, Hawkinson. Need to improve. Flex. Trade ideas. Honestly, I like your team a lot. I'd probably be tempted to trade like Hawkinson on the high and going a little bit crafty at the tight end position and trying to upgrade, let's say, a London or Watson or B-Rob from up to something along the lines of a JT or a Puka or a potential wide receiver like Devontae Smith, using Hawkinson in one of the wide receivers. Past that, I don't know that you really need to do too much. Your team's good, and I don't really like. You could sell Bijan and Hawkinson. That's another option for Achane and something. Bijan and Hawkinson for Eckler. I doubt you'll get it, but maybe his owner's worried about the yardage. I don't know. Bill the Tickler dropping my boy Smitty. Appreciate you, Bill, 3-month member, my guy. Bijan, upgrade Bijan just a smidge. That's also a good move. And in the last super chat, and I go to Zastro. This one, I have Goff, Fields, Bijan, Ford, Charbonnet, Amon-Ra, Olave, being offered Gibbs, Cup, James Cook for Andrews, Amon-Ra, Ford. Gibbs, Cup, James Cook, Andrews, Amon-Ra, Ford. It's pretty even. I lean Gibbs, Cup, James Cook by a hair, but honestly, it's dead even. And Zastro, your super chat is, I got Justin Herbert, Hall, Bijan, Chase, AJB, Debo, Kincaid, Bench, Olave, JSN, McBride, Charbonnet, D. Cook, trying to turn some of my wide receiver depth into running back. All right, Zastro, you're up.
Yeah, I just calling to just get some more thoughts on that. I've been overloaded with wide receivers, and they're just riding the bench, and Bijan's just continuing to struggle. And then he's on bye next week, so I'm just trying to turn some wide receiver depth into some running back depth.
Yeah, I guess I would say Herbert, Hall, Bijan, Chase, AJB, Debo, Olave. Yeah, I mean, maybe like Olave did score, and I'm sure everybody's, still a little bit worried about him. But I think like an Olave, can you trade Olave and Bijan for Achane and something? Can you trade Olave and Bijan for, probably too late to do the Eckler move, Olave and Bijan for, JT and something? Like, what have you explored?
I've explored pretty much all of those. I just haven't explored giving up that much. I've tried giving up Olave and possibly other bench pieces. I haven't tried the Olave-Bijan combo. I could try that. I still am hesitant to give away Bijan, but I guess I'm just hopeful maybe he'll turn it around.
Yeah. I wouldn't get rid of him like low, but would I get rid of Bijan and Olave for one better player? Sure. The players that come to mind, let me go to thefantasyfootballshow.com rankings, and where anybody can get their rankings, their one-on-one text device, etc., etc. And if I look at the rankings, I see JT, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Alvin Kamara, Travis Etienne, Austin Eckler, Devon Achane. all as potential players that we could have a conversation about. Kyren Williams. Now, each one of those guys, Aaron Jones, they may or may not require more, or maybe you're getting more back in said trade. So maybe what you need to attack is some sort of trade where you're giving a Bijan and you're getting the lesser player and getting an additional player upgraded maybe. So maybe you're upgrading Olave. I don't know if somebody views like Swift or, which you're going down a dangerous road there too, but like you could potentially maybe trade Bijan into Aaron Jones, or maybe the Aaron Jones owner wouldn't even want to give you Aaron Jones for Bijan. It's tough to know. But if you do some sort of 2-for-2, maybe you're turning Olave into Puka and you're turning Bijan into Aaron Jones, and you're feeling good about a 2-for-2 swap. So maybe start exploring those 2-for-2s.
Okay.
Sometimes they're creatively, let's mix things up, and the other owner's like, okay, I got to do something. And that's probably your best bet. Do a 2-for-2.
Okay. Yeah, I have a lot of interest in Olave from other teams, so
Yeah.
he's probably the one I'm going to try to deal out.
Yeah, go get, like, I hate that you have Debo, because Debo would have been perfect to downgrade Olave into in that 2-for-2, but Ridley even is but I know what you're wanting to do. You're wanting to get rid of Bijan and a receiver for a running back, but that's not working. So what I'm saying is maybe that 2-for-2 ends up getting you still get a wide receiver back, but you're getting the running back you want. But I definitely I'd throw Bijan and Olave at Achane and try and get something. Nico or whatever. Try and get something, but I definitely would take Achane for Bijan right now. 100%.
Okay.
Sucks to say, but all right, later, man. Zastro, appreciate you. Thomas says I missed his super chat. Yo, Smitty, I have Fields and Tua on a bye. If Fields plays, are we trusting him? Dobbs, I didn't miss this, Thomas. Thomas, I didn't miss this. If this is the one you're saying I missed, Thomas, you went on a potty break and you're trying to blame it on me. I said that Dobbs, I even put this to the chat vote. Is this the one that you said I missed? Let me go. Let me see what's going on, Thomas. Thomas, super chat. Is this the one, Thomas? I'll wait for Thomas to respond, but we definitely... So is Smitty reversing that trade? Reversing what trade? Adams, I don't know what trade you're talking about. Anyway, I'm going to put this over here. I don't know if Thomas missed this entire segment. Asan, $5 hauler, QB, Murray, JJ, Olave, Amon-Ra, Kirk, Godwin, Rice, K9, Aaron Jones, Gibbs, Kincaid, traded K9 and Godwin for Jacobs. I could get behind either side. There's no taking a lap for the one that acquires Jacobs or the one that acquires K9. I personally would rather have K9 than Jacobs, but I understand the flip side, and I think it's preference at this point. I think it's very, very even, Steven. I would personally rather have K9, but that's me. J Money, you got 30, pal. J Money, hello.
Hello?
What's up?
Yo.
You taking a bath?
Hey, so no.
Oh, okay. It sound like you're
No.
there are bubbles. What's up?
No, it's closing the door. Hey, so all right, so I need to know who to drop right now because I have Jalen Hurts going on by, and so I'll read off my bench real fast. Let me find it real quick. Okay. So I got Gabe Davis. Okay. I got Gabe Davis. I got Jacoby Myers, Nico Collins, JSN, Kyle Pitts, and that's it. And Rashad White.
Thomas, no problem. I'll answer you again in 1 second. I just want to make sure before I go on a rant on it, you don't. That was the question you want to repeat it. Gabe Davis, Nico, JSN, Pitts. And so, what's your question? Drop one of them for a quarterback?
Yeah, because I have Jalen Hurts on bye, so I need to drop one for a quarterback.
Okay. What quarterbacks are out there?
Kyler Murray's out there. That's
Nice.
what I was going for. I got number 6 priority, so maybe I get him, maybe not.
Yeah.
But who else? Justin Fields is out there. I don't know if he'll play. Joshua Dobbs.
Dobbs is great. Dobbs might even be
There's
safer this week.
there. Just
I'll put a bid in for Kyler than Dobbs, only because Kyler's got more long-term value on the season. But Dobbs is very sneaky, so if you get either one, that's great.
Actually thinking of dropping Pitts, man. I'm kind of done with this crap. Like,
I don't blame
I
you.
have Ferguson. He's been doing good, but like,
I don't blame you.
I don't know who else to drop.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah, right.
Yep. Pitts is, what's he's going to do good 1 week. You're going to start him. He's going to do bad. Like, he's got no ability to be consistent. It's not anybody.
Tony Smith is just doing what he's too involved, for Pitts to have any
I'm
real
fine.
upside.
I'm fine with that. Go get Kyler. You might even want to contemplate like dropping your kicker, unless your kicker is the top kicker in the league, and picking up Dobbs as well, and then making some sort of trade, and then picking up your kicker later if you can't pull something off.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, bro.
Hey, and also real quick, I want to say, like last week I called in and I was talking about I had the choice of Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker. Who else? It was Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker, Rashad White, and yeah. So the reason why I was asking that, because I remember everybody was kind of like, "Oh, what are you talking about, man?" But the reason I was asking is because I just had a feeling these players are not going to do good, and like I said, it ended up being Rashad White did the best.
Nice.
And yeah, and I put also I had Mostert and Rashad White, so I sat Pollard and Walker.
Hey, that's what sometimes
that
can make you sad and cry in a little ball, or you can end up feeling like the owner of the year. So nice job.
Yeah.
All right, G Money, appreciate you.
So.
Later, bro.
All right, man.
Thanks.
Later.
Let's see here. Thomas, just to answer Thomas's question again. Thomas, you here? Before I go on a unnecessary rant, I even had the whole chat vote on this one. That's the funny part. When someone says, Smitty, you missed my super chat. Like accusations when I had the whole chat vote for you, Thomas. If the chat would re-vote, Thomas was on a potty break, taking a tinkle. Probably sitting down. Just kidding, Thomas. Everybody re-vote for Thomas. Thomas says, yo, Smitty, I have Fields and Tua on a bye. Fields and then Tua on a bye. If Fields plays, are we trusting him over Dobbs? The chat kind of voted Dobbs is safer than Fields, and I do agree to a certain extent. Do I think Fields has more risk and probably more upside? Absolutely, because we've seen Fields be a top 2-3 quarterback 2 weeks in a row. Number 1 and number 2 or 3, I think. So, fully capable. But on a Thursday game, coming back from injury, a little bit of uncertainty, let's go ahead and say Dobbs is your safe play, but still good reward. And Fields is your high risk, high reward. Okay? Thomas, appreciate you. I'm sorry, I was just joking with you, by the way, and I appreciate your super chat. Of course I do. Thomas to the moon. Can we send Thomas to Saturn?
To Saturn.
Thomas, you aren't mad at me, are you? Joshua with the 20.
Alert. Super chat alert.
Joshua coming in strong. What's up, Smitty? Just traded Hollywood Brown and Kareem Hunt for Debo. Did I get him? I don't know if you got him, but I'd say I like it. And I probably say that I do that trade. I'd drive a forklift, says Thomas. Hey, Thomas has an excuse. But, Thomas, the only thing is, hey, Smitty. You could say, hey, Smitty, I was driving a forklift. I think I missed the answer. Not, Smitty, you missed my super chat. when I corral the people together, Thomas, and we do a huddle and we go, okay, let's take a vote for Thomas. He's a monster, drives a forklift. This guy's a beast. I picture Thomas with this big old beard. Okay, this is a man, and he needs our help. And then Thomas comes in and says, I missed his super chat after we corralled the people together, put it to a vote, and wasted the people's time on a vote. Start Debo or Olave. I'm just kidding, Thomas. Thomas to the moon. Let's send Thomas to Saturn one more time.
To Saturn.
They need forklifts on Saturn. You're going to be my forklift driver on Saturn. Guy wants me to send offers for Reek. 3 wide receivers, 1 flex league. I have Stroud, Hall, Walker, Gibbs, Javonte, Hendo, JJ, Puka, Debo, Kirk, Pickens, McBride. He has Herbie. I don't know. Shoddy, this is a little complicated to come up with too many ideas here. But I will say this. I will say for Tyreek, I would send my guy. Because you got Hall and Gibbs and Javonte, you could get risky with Walker if you wanted to. You could send Walker and Kirk and Pickens. You could send potentially JJ and Javonte if you wanted to. You could send Puka and Javonte. You could send Kirk, Debo, and Javonte, which I don't think he would do, but those are all potential ideas. Let's see here. Puka, Walker for Hill and somebody. Gibbs and Debo potentially for Hill. I'm not sending like Gibbs and JJ or anything crazy. Gibbs and Puka for Hill and something is doable, but it depends. Hall and JJ, I wouldn't do that. Puka and Hall probably wouldn't do that, but the lesser moves and throw in like a third player, like give them Pickens for free, then that's what I'm talking about. This one right here is from the $20 hauler from Josh. Traded Hollywood Brown. Okay, is there anything else in this offer? Also, would you trade Debo straight up for Aaron Jones? If you need an RB, I would. And you got great wide receivers, so I probably would. So ultimately, you're trading Hollywood Brown and Kareem Hunt for Aaron Jones. Smitty approved.
You've just been smitten.
That's really, really good. Nice job. Josh, appreciate your super chat, my guy. Shoddy, appreciate you. I don't know if you want to call in and discuss further. I'm not here to do an even Steven trade, so some of my offers might be hard to pull off, but that's what we're here to do. Do I trade away Hopkins and Hunt for Saquon? I would, and then I shop Saquon, but I certainly don't mind taking on the Saquon risk at that cost of entry. D-Hop for Debo. I'd rather have Debo. Just got healthy on the bye. I think that's a fantastic move. And if Draven's here, Draven, please call into the phone line. Appreciate you, Draven. We need you to leave one more voicemail for Arthur Smith. And I'll give you the scenario when you call, Draven. Dial in a couple more phone calls, and then we're going to potentially be maybe close to wrapping it up. We say that. 429 of you in here. Guys, Underdog Fantasy promo code Smitty. In fact, maybe we do a draft right now. Hit that link that's pinned in the live chat. The link is also right here. I'm going to drop it fresh in the chat. The link is also in the description of every video. And Code Smitty does the same damn thing. If you enter Code Smitty, they'll double your first deposit up to $100 on Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. JFam says, running Laporta, Ingram 6-3, should I keep or trade? I would trade one of them for sure. Absolutely. I'm trying to upgrade into H-Hands, into JJs, into Cooper Kupps, into Debos from smaller players, into JTs or H-Hands or Ecklers from slightly lower running backs. That's how I'm rolling. That's what I'm doing. So Dad did it. That's how America does it. All right, let's get into a freaking Underdog draft real quickly. All right, so everybody pull up your Underdog app. How do I get into Underdog, Smitty? You use the link that's pinned in the live chat that's in the description of every video. And code Smitty. All those things get you to where you need to go. And we're going to scroll on over to the Battle Royale Week 10. Okay, and click the Underdog green button right there. When I see that pull up on the live stream, I'm going to do it simultaneously, and that it will be in the same draft together. I got to unplug when I hit enter because it needs to gather your location. Okay, so enter right now, everybody. We should all have entered at the same time. Ruben, I'm sorry. Ruben, I forgot you were on the phone line, bro. Ruben, what can I do for you? You're live.
Hey, Smitty. Man, I thought you had forgotten about me.
Yeah, you're a quiet little guy. It's 21 minutes you've been on hold.
Yeah, just about.
All right, you got 10 seconds.
But
Go.
yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead. You got more time.
All right, but yeah, my team is kind of struggling. I'm gonna read you off my team. I need to make a trade or something. I have Tua as my quarterback, Hall and Jacobs as my running backs, Diggs, St. Brown.
Hold on.
T. Higgins,
Hold on.
Olave
Let me
as my
let me write it. Hold on, bro. Let me write it down. You're going a little fast. Okay, go ahead. Tua is your quarterback. Go ahead. Tua
is my quarterback, Hall, Jacobs, Javonte, Connor, and Herbert on IR, but they're coming back.
Okay.
And then as my wide receivers, I have Diggs, St. Brown, Higgins, and Olave.
Higgins, Olave. Okay.
And then my tight end would be Mark Andrews.
All right. And what's your trade idea?
I mean, that's what I'm thinking. What do you think I should target? Because, I mean, Tua kind of scares me for the playoffs. It's a tough schedule, and he couldn't do anything against Kansas City. So
Yeah, but I mean, what are you gonna get? What are you gonna do? You're gonna go get would I upgrade to Mahomes? Sure. Like if I had to give up an Olave or a Higgins to get Tua into Mahomes, sure. Into Josh Allen, into Hurts, into Burrow, I'd potentially do.
The thing is, the person that has Mahomes is Stroud. Would you consider Stroud an upgrade?
I mean, he could be, but I think Tua is certainly as capable. You know, I think everybody in here right now is going to live in the moment and be like, Stroud's way better than Tua, but let's remember how good Tua can be when he's on the money. And I know everybody's willing to write him off, but bro, that's not something I'm willing to do, is act like this team should be dismantled when you have a top 6 quarterback, because you have a top 6 quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa. Now, am I worried about him getting hit, getting a concussion, being out for the game? Like, sure. But, I mean, if I were you, I would stop focusing on the quarterback and I'd say, oh, I'm on the clock here. Hold on. Austin Eckler. Let's go Eckler. And let's go with Joseph Cigar Smoking Burrow. So in this draft right here, if anybody wants to get into the next one, just hit the link that's pinned in the live chat, hit the link that's in the description of the video, or use code Smitty and jump into a draft with us. This is for a Week 10 Battle Royale. I've got Eckler and Joe Burrow so far. 6 people in a draft. There's only 6 rounds. 36 players get drafted. We roll through drafts like that. If I were you, bro, I would just accept the fact that Tua is a pretty damn good quarterback for you to have, and it's going to be hard to upgrade him without dismantling. Now, if you tell me Kyler's on waivers or whatever, then I'm picking up Kyler so I have some backup support. But am I trading away and dismantling for this? No, Tua, you got to let it ride. This is a good quarterback. He's top 6, and he's got a lot of potential. I would probably say like, I'm not touching Diggs, St. Brown, and I would be tempted to trade like Jacobs and Olave for one player, like Jacobs, Olave, or how about Jacobs and Higgins for Achane?
Actually, I have Achane on IR.
Did you tell me that?
No.
I mean,
but yeah, the guy that owned him dropped him.
So let me ask you a question, Ruben. When you go to the doctor and you have the doctor diagnose you with something, and you don't tell him that you're missing half of your heart, and you're asking him to make a diagnosis of something, how's this doctor going to help you? I mean, this is a pretty big piece to leave out. By the way, I got a top 5 running back. By the way, Smitty, I got a guy you take inside the top, like 7 overall in a draft today. All right, hang tight real quickly. I'm on the clock real quick. Pollard, Bijan, Olave. Who am I going with here? I think Pollard bounces back this week. We'll go Pollard. So far my team is Burrow, Eckler, Pollard. I got no wide receiver yet. Let's roll with Ayuk, Jefferson. I feel like Debo's going to have a big day. Let's go Debo here. Okay. So now looking at your team, now Achane is your running back 1. Breece Hall is your running back 2. Jacobs is a little more expendable than I thought, and I'm trying to trade Higgins and Jacobs together for one RB or wide receiver upgrade, and I'm just throwing 15 offers out. Just boom, boom, boom. You want them? Boom, boom, boom. Give me JT. Give me Cooper Kupp. Give me Puka Nacua potentially even. Actually, maybe Puka's not even enough. Jacobs and Higgins, Kupp. Jacobs and Higgins, Jahmhr Chase. No, you don't like that? Okay, I'll go to another owner. Maybe you come across somebody that's got Kincaid and you could downgrade Andrews into Kincaid, give them Jacobs, and they can upgrade Jacobs into JT or something like that, or into Cooper Kupp, or into St. Brown, or into Jahmhr Chase, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those are the moves. You what?
Actually, I do have St. Brown though.
Well, you know what I'm saying. St. Brown type player.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got a team. You got a team, bro. St. Brown and Diggs. I don't know that I touched those two. Achane, I'm not getting rid of. Jacobs and Higgins. Jacobs and Olave. Andrews and Jacobs. If you can replace Andrews, who's your backup tight end?
Komet.
Komet's pretty good. I mean, you could even throw Komet in. I'd keep Andrews, Komet, Jacobs, and Higgins for one player. Just send out 15, 20 offers, and then come back to me when you got them.
All right. Stay cool on Tua.
I mean, unless you can get somebody to give you Mahomes for, let's say, Olave and Tua for Mahomes, I'd probably do that. Higgins.
How much would be too much, though? Because the person that has Stroud has Mahomes, and he's struggling. So.
Jacobs and Tua for giving you of Achane, I'd be tempted to take Mahomes and something. I'd ask for something, but Jacobs and Tua for Mahomes, I mean, that could be the difference between this team, smashing everybody into little tiny pieces, bro, and not. It's a very, very good squad. You know what also is a good squad? This squad I drafted from the 6th spot. Eckler, Joe Burrow, Tony Pollard, Deebo Samuel, Chris Olave, and Hawkinson. Doing it live week number 10. All right, I got to go. Come back when you got offers, Ruben. Tom from Dallas, you're live, Tom. You got 30.
All right, Smitty. All right,
Yep.
So we have 2 possible offers and 1 on the table. There's some overlap. So our running backs are Kenneth Walker, JT, and Jacobs. All right, and we have Laporta. So Laporta Kincaid. Jacobs, Laporta, Dell for Swift and Kupp is the offer that we have on the table.
Jacobs, Laporta,
and Dell.
And Dell for what?
And Dell.
For what?
For Swift and Kupp.
Swift and Kupp. Yeah, I'm taking that. I'm taking Swift and Kupp. I would maybe try and package Swift away in another deal later, but that's neither here nor there. Jacobs, Laporta, Dell for Kupp and Swift. I take that, especially if you got a tight end. You say Kincaid? I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go get Kupp. That's
and
pretty
it's cheaper,
solid.
So we're
well, hold on. You guys, this is again. You going to the doctor, bro. You're not telling them the full story. It's a keeper. How many keepers?
Look,
is it a full? Is it a dynasty? Is it a full?
No. There's just one keeper. The only real option for keeper is JSN and Kincaid.
Okay.
For me.
By the way, your boy got. Oh, they projected me second. Okay, we're going into one more. Hit the Battle Royale Week 10, guys. It's the link is pinned in the live stream, in the live chat. It's in the description of every video. Code Smitty will also get you where you need to go. Code Smitty will double your first deposit up to 100, as will the links that I've just told you about. And so jump into hit that green button now. I'm going to hit the button in about 5 seconds, so we're all kind of synced up together. All right, what was I talking to? Tom, anything else real quickly? You got 5 seconds.
Yeah. So then the other, I could get
4.
Laporta for Olave, Laporta Olave, and then Jacobs Downs into Devontae Adams and Javonte Williams.
Yeah. Yes. I like the Adams one more.
I can't do all of them.
Adams. Go get Adams. Do it live.
But if we do Adams, then we can't do the first trade.
Oh.
I can hang up. We can call back later. But
this
was the dilemma.
The first trade was you were getting Kupp and Kupp and who? Javonte?
We're getting Kupp and Swift.
It's Kupp and Swift.
For the same players that there's a chance that we can get Adams, Javonte, and Olave.
I get Adams, Javonte, and Olave if I could. I'd rather have that combo. But I do like Kupp and Swift a lot. That's both of those trades in that order over keeping what you have. All right, appreciate you, Tom. We'll see you later, pal.
Yeah.
Call back when you have something definitive
Later.
on the table. Daniel, you got 30, pal.
Hey, Smitty, I've been trying to acquire CMC for the past few hours, my buddy. It eventually led to Saquon, Tank Dell, Kyler Murray, DK, and Kincaid for CMC and Njoku. I'm starting to think, is that a little too overboard for CMC?
Okay, so it's Kyler, Dell, Kincaid,
DK, and Saquon.
Oh, DK, Saquon. Okay, so Barkley, Kyler, Dell, DK.
5 players, and Kincaid.
No, and Kincaid. Okay, I thought I heard Kincaid in there.
Yeah,
Kyler,
5
Dell,
players.
and who's your quarterback?
Justin Herbert.
So Kyler's playing with the house's money. I'm gonna even cross him out just to make this more understandable and digestible. I would say, bro, give me CMC all day long.
CMC for that? Okay.
It's simple, bro. It's simple. I mean, you're looking at a team. You're looking at a huge upgrade in running back that you're not. This doesn't close the gap. DK's even like, I bet you even debate whether to start DK every week.
Okay.
Like, am I wrong? Are you sitting there wavering every week? Do I even start DK? Do I start him this week? Do I start Dell this week? I don't know. Kincaid. Who's your tight end if you trade Kincaid away?
Kelsey on bye.
Kelsey. So
Kelsey on
yeah,
bye.
bro, what are you doing here? Smash it.
Got this, Smitty. I'm doing it right now.
Are you you're a careful Caleb, but I appreciate that about you. But you need to go get CMC and do it live. All right, later.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Careful Caleb in the building. I think I have a super chat here that I have not answered yet from Hassan. This season, I've traded Rashad White, James Cook, Garrett Wilson, K9, Godwin, Mixon, 4, Amon-Ra, Olave, Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Jacobs. That's very good, Hassan. Hassan to the moon. Hassan's doing Hassan things up in this mug. Trey Brown. I have Hurts, AK, JT, Gibbs, Kyron, Sharbs, JJ, DJ Moore, Hollywood, Ridley, Dell, Quentin Johnson, etc., etc. What trade moves and moves the needle? Honestly, I like if I'm trading like DJ Moore, Hollywood Brown, and trying to upgrade into like that's a really good team. Go Gibbs here. I don't know, bro. I don't know that you necessarily need to make a move. Hurts, AK, JT, solid. Gibbs, I like it. Kyron, love it. If you could start all 4 of those RBs, I'm not like anxious to get rid of them. I actually really like what you got. JJ, unless it's DJ Moore, Hollywood, and like, Kyle Pitts or McBride or something like that to just upgrade DJ Moore a hair. And I'm talking like maybe it's a Debo, maybe it's an Olave, maybe it's a Lamb if you're lucky. Let's see here. I'm gonna go. I think I need a quarterback here. I'll go Lamar. I probably should have went Andrews and Lamar there. That might have cost me a whole bunch of money. I should have went Andrews instead of Gibbs. I like Gibbs a lot, but I should have went Andrews and Lamar. That was stupid. Not stupid, but that would have been nice. That would have been a nice stack. Then again, what if Andrews does nothing and Lamar has like 3 rushing touchdowns? That should be fine. I like Gibbs a lot this week. Chase, Kamara, Gibbs, and Lamar. That's pretty solid. Trey, small move, bro. Small move. That's all I'm really concerned about. Phone lines are closed for the show, guys. I have to focus on these super chats that are on screen. G Money coming in with a $20 wad on screen. G Money to the freaking moon. Let's go.
Alert. Super chat alert.
G Money, appreciate you. Hey Smitty, this team is 4-5, 10 team, half PPR QB, T-Law, Watson, Amon-Ra, Brees, Eckler, Laporta, Flex, Singletary, bench Fields, Ferguson, AJ, HN. What should I do to upgrade it? Wide receiver or QB? I'm I'm on Rob Brees, Eckler. I like the team a lot. I think Laporta for you is the player to maybe move. Maybe it sucks to trade him, but I feel like you put Fergie in. AJB and Achane is fantastic. I actually Fields, I maybe bank on Fields if I'm you, but like if you could trade Fields and Laporta into Tua, it seems like Tua is very doubted. That might be the move to make, and you get something else maybe in addition. Then again, it's like, I don't know, bro. Maybe you say Fields, let it ride, and keep Laporta. Let's go. I guess we go Hawkinson here. I think Brees, Eckler, Amon-Ra, Fields, Laporta, Achane, HAB. I don't know that I'm making any moves, G-Money, to be honest with you, looking at this team.
Alert. Stand down order.
I mean, it's solid. It's solid. Would I be tempted to throw Laporta? Maybe Mahomes. Maybe you swing big at Mahomes. Maybe you say to yourself, I'll give Laporta, Fields, and good God, what could you send without damaging this thing? I don't think you can. I don't think there's a player. I think you let it ride. I think this team is good enough. Tank Dell season. Let's try Tank Dell here. I could have went Debo, but I went Tank Dell. I think I let it ride on this team, bro. It's got such a good little comeback feel to it. And I don't know that you can upgrade Fields. Maybe, like I said, maybe Fields into Tua, and that's it. But I don't want you touching AJB, Achane, Eckler, Brees, Laporta, Amon-Ra. And when you can't move those pieces, then you kind of really can't move. It's a good team. I wouldn't fret on what the record is and how you've been doing. 76 points for me. I got beat out in projections by a few of you. Nice job. Hit that week 10. Hit the green button now. I'm going to unplug and jump in about T-minus 8 seconds after the YouTube delay swings into effect. Got offered Herbert. Got Herbert, Stroud. Got Andrews and Schultz. Do I trade any of them? I need a running back upgrade. I can add Deontay, Puka, Dell, T, Higgins, or Hunt. Let's see here. Got Herbert, Stroud. So I'm trading one of the quarterbacks, one of the tight ends. So clearly you're going to these tight end and quarterback needy teams, specifically trying to find one that needs both. And you let someone choose, but yeah, I guess you let someone choose the quarterback and just say, like, what can get me the most? Not saying you make the highest bidding offer, take the highest bidding offer, but you maybe get the best offers by letting someone choose. Deontay and a quarterback for Cooper Kupp. Deontay and a quarterback for Achane. Deontay and a quarterback for JT. Deontay and a quarterback, or Kirk and Deontay, or both, or Dell and a quarterback, or Dell in a tight end for Kupp. Dell and a tight end for JT. Dell and a tight end for Achane. Dell and a tight end for Breece Hall. Stroud and Deontay. Stroud and Dell. Stroud and T. Higgins and Deontay for Pat Mahomes. Bet you didn't see that one coming. But yeah, definitely. The Bolt $20 hauler.
Alert. Super chat alert.
The Bolt, my guy. Inaugural Dynasty League, 10-team requirements to be in the league. You must be a commish in a league 2 years minimum, and I won at least one championship, one QB, one Superflex. Taxi week 3, I traded. The Bolt, my guy. Okay, I don't know if there's some other questions coming in. Okay, so this might be his team. Josh Allen, Spears, McLaurin for CMC Achane. Probably take the CMC Achane side. I mean, CMC still got probably, I don't know how much of a full year after this year. Like, he could get banged up and miss time. He definitely could, like, get banged up and miss time. Did I time out? Mark Chase? No, I didn't. Okay. But Achane is a guy I want. Josh Allen's hard to trade. I assume it's not super flex. I forget what did the Bolt say over here? Inaugural Dynasty, but I don't think he said super flex, did he? Yeah. Oh, it's super flex. Okay, 1 super flex. So the Bolt, that changes things. I'd probably say Josh Allen's side. Super flex is so tough, man. It's so tough. I don't know how to. I love Achane. I love CMC, but CMC is older. It is Dynasty Superflex. At some point, he's going to just drop off. He's not going to be able to stay healthy. It's not that he's not going to be good. He'll be good when he's on the field, but he just won't be able to stay healthy. I love Achane, though, but Josh Allen in a Superflex, that's just traded. Traded Keenan Allen, Moss, Akers for Hill. I like that. Traded round 3 pick this year for Stroud. Love that. Trade deadline has passed. Free agency league first 13-5. Nice team. Nice team. The Bolt to the moon. Appreciate you. Your boy's almost on the clock again here in a second. We got, how many people we got in this chat? 400 people and 249 thumbs up. That's respectable. I still don't mind you hitting that thumb up button. If anybody's got any more thumbs up left in the tank, smash it. Let's go with Mark Andrews here. So we got Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Mark Andrews. Feeling pretty good about that squad. Matthew with a super. JT, Monty, and Evans for Achane, Olave. Give me Achane and Olave, but I assume it's JT or Monty and Evans. So JT and Evans for Achane, Olave is closer, but I would rather get rid of Monty than JT if you're keeping one. That's all I'm going to, I guess, say there. But I'd rather have the Achane Olave side. That combination. Hassan, was that a masterclass roster overhaul? It was. Straight up. Nice job. Murph, appreciate you and your $10 holler, Murph.
To the moon.
The Murph Meister. I'm on the clock. I'm going to time out here. Let's go with Jahmhr Gibbs. Chase, Burrow, Mark Andrews, Jahmhr. 9-0. Fields, Goff, CMC, Pollard, Gibbs, Monty, Kyron, Swift, AJB, Olave, DJ Moore, Dell, Kelsey. Trade ideas for a wide receiver and a QB. Mahomes owner is a tough sell. I think going after Tua is not bad. I think Fields for Tua, and you give up Dell, you give up, even DJ Moore and Fields together is an attractive sell to somebody. Maybe you get a Burrow, maybe you get a Jalen Hurts, maybe you get a Josh Allen. And if you have to give up something a little bigger like Dell, DJ Moore, and Fields for Josh Allen, honestly, I'd do it. Your team can afford it. Your team's very solid. Mike Evans, Walker. I'm going to go Walker with the bounce back this week, maybe. No, let's go Debo. We'll go Debo. So Chase, Burrow, Andrews, Jahmhr Gibbs, Debo. I like it. Full PPR 9-0. It's a good team. Mahomes owner is a tough sell. Wide receiver upgrade, I'd say like DJ Moore and Dell for Cup. I would say Swift and Dell for Cup. Swift and DJ Moore for Jamar Chase. I think he's attainable. I think all are doable things for this team. But you're 9-0 for a reason. You're dropping wads all over. Squad is Stroud, AR5, Hendon Hooker, Minshew, CMC, Gibbs, Achane, Brees. Okay, you got AR5 and Stroud. That's pretty good too. Like it makes it a little bit more understandable the move to get Achane. I do kind of like it. I'm gonna go probably. I'll go Aaron Jones here and just mix things up a little bit. Achane, Brees, Mitchell, Garrett Wilson, Debo, Hill, Tyreek Hill, Debo. That's great, man. Your team's really, really good. Thoughts for the offseason? Offseason, you're going to have some moves to make potentially, but I mean, look, Brees, Achane, Gibbs, Stroud, AR5, Debo, Hill. Like you got a team. You got a real nice team. Thielen on the high right now is not bad. Your boy coming in with 81, smashing the competition. Nobody even coming close. Meat Missile came close to the 78.7. Let's check out Meat Missile's team. Lamar, Eckler, Kamara, Olave, Cooper, Hawkinson. Nice squad. But here's the winner. Joe Burrow, Jahmhr Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Chase, Debo, and Mark Andrews. We're doing one more for fun. Click on the Week 10 Battle Royale. Hit that green button now. I got to unplug, or it tells me it can't identify where I'm at unless I unplug my cell phone and enter on my cell phone. I don't know. It's weird. So once I see the live stream catch up, I will punch the green button so we're all in the same draft. And we should all be in the same draft now. Drafting soon. Appreciate you. Thank you, DeBolt. Love the team, broski. Fantastic squad. Cody traded Barkley, Madison, Rice for CMC.
Got him.
Unbelievable. Smashed him to pieces, bro. Hurts, CMC, Pacheco, Chuba, Connor, playoff, Lenny, Deontay, Keenan Allen, DK, Debo, JSN, Laporta, Ingram. What piece can I add to a Laporta deal? So if you're trading Laporta away or Ingram, probably Laporta because you can get the most. Laporta and Deontay for Cooper Kupp. Laporta and Pacheco for JT. Laporta and Pacheco for Achane. Laporta, DK, Pacheco for Achane. Laporta, DK, Pacheco for ETN. Laporta, DK, Pacheco for you're not going to get Eckler. You're not going to... Tough to say. Laporta and Pacheco for... Take a gamble on Tony Pollard, maybe. Some might like Pacheco more than Pollard, though, so be careful with those moves. I'm on the clock here with the one pick. Let's go CMC. Take CMC. We don't have any CMC shares yet of the Week 10, so that's kind of fun. Pacheco, yeah, that's what I would do. Those moves seem pretty doable, I think, broski. Nolan, $10 hauler, gets a moonshot for being a spaceman. Nolan, any reason why the Falcons keep using their first round picks to provide opportunities for other players? No idea, bro. No idea. No one knows. Arthur Smith's a moron, and he needs to get fired immediately. And it's honestly up to the Falcons brass to do something. Being offered DK, Geno, and Kareem Hunt for Stroud. I would say I would rather have Stroud at this moment in time. But, maybe make a different trade because DK's not doing it for me. Herbert, Brees, Kamara. It sounds like this is the best offer you've gotten. I would try and go to a QB-needy team and say, give me something significant. I have a quarterback that just scored 5 touchdowns, and he's got the hype is all around him right now. So you should be able to go get something much more significant than a DK Metcalf, to be frank, bro. We're talking like Stroud and something for Lamb, That's the kind of move you make. $10 hauler, and it's always the player I mentioned that's in the next super chat. It never fails. I have CD, Devontae, Debo, Ayuk. Devontae Adams would be good for Stroud, by the way, on that other question. Should I trade one of those guys for Achane? I would definitely trade one of those guys for Achane, not CD if possible. Not Adams if possible, but I'd give up Debo and Ayuk for Achane if I needed to, but certainly give up either one of those or one of them with another player. But would I push come to shove want Achane over Adams? Probably, yeah. And I'm on the clock here with back-to-back picks. I've got let's go with a nice little Andrews and Lamar stack on top of Christian McCaffrey. That feels pretty solid right there. McCaffrey, Andrews, Lamar. Love it. Bros with a $10 hauler. Bros, appreciate you. Bros Pros says, I'm in a slight pickle. I'm 4-5. I want to maximize my chances. Do I start CJ over Allen, Josh Allen, in case another Saturn game from CJ? Allen's INTs have made it a bit antsy. I probably would not sit Josh Allen personally for CJ Stroud, but I could understand somebody wanting to move Allen and taking the gamble on getting a big piece like Cooper Kupp or St. Brown and something, or Jamar Chase for Josh Allen. I think you doing this is the problem. You either need to go all in, commit, and jump straight into the pool, bro. Jump into the pool or not. With Stroud. Okay, you either want to jump in the pool with Stroud or you don't. Make a decision. But this whole you want to take both out is becoming a problem. You got to pick one. Don't two-time your quarterback. Make a commitment. Tom from Dallas, you're live.
Hey, Smitty. All right, so I'm back. I've secured everything but the Olave part of the deal. He has Christian.
Tom, you're giving me way too much credit. I have no idea what we're talking about.
No problem. We're trading Laporta for Christian Kirk or Ridley instead of Olave.
Laporta for
Do we still like that?
Laporta for. Tell me the trade. I don't remember what in the hell we're talking about at all.
Yeah. So it's Sam Laporta from me.
Uh-huh.
We have Dalton Kincaid.
Okay.
We're trading Laporta. We're going for Olave. Couldn't get it. Our new offer is for either Christian Kirk or Calvin Ridley.
So he'll give you Christian Kirk for your Laporta?
That's what the offer is.
Yeah, you sent him back a. I think you forgot to hit a button, bro. Message. Ridley. I mean, look, Ridley. You're buying Ridley high. Laporta's worth more than that. Just walk away. Just to reject the trades. Don't even send him a message to say, "Let me know when you're serious," and walk away. Just walk away. I like Ridley. I do like Ridley, but this is. I would just. That one's not horrible. I would suppose I would be tempted on that one just because I like Ridley that much, but you shouldn't because the rest of the world doesn't. So therefore, you should get more fair market value wise. So just walk away. If he's gonna get ridiculous and offer you Christian Kirk for Laporta, you need to walk away. Don't even okay, you're not serious right now. Let me know when you're interested in a trade and just walk away from him. That's ridiculous.
Gotcha.
It's ridiculous. All right, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. Christian Kirk. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do the Olave deal, but I'll give you Kirk. Let's just change directions on this one. I'm going to offer you garbage now. You sit back and take it. I don't mean that toward you, my guy. I'm just saying his offer. Trade away Puka Higgins for DK Swift. I'd rather have the Puka Higgins side. All right, broskies. This is the last draft, and then we're out. Please hit that link. The link's pinned in the live chat if you want to get into a draft. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. Promo code Smitty will do the same thing effectively. Give you double your first deposit up to $100. It will double your first deposit up to $100. Underdog Fantasy, promo code Smitty. All right, here we go. Your boy's almost on the clock here, and then I'm out of here. Rock out, you got 10 seconds because I'm on the way out the door real quickly. What do you got, pal?
Yeah, would you pick up Stroud and drop Roshan and get done anything?
Yeah, 100%. Not even a debate in my mind. Stroud shouldn't be available whatsoever.
Yeah, he'd be my backup. I got Burrow.
Yeah, but you could trade him. I would try and trade him.
And then one more question. I got a trade offer for Walker for Aaron Jones, but I'm not sure about Aaron Jones' situation.
What is it? Walker for Jones?
Yeah.
I if you got a lot of other Walker shares, I don't mind diversifying, but I do believe Walker and Jones are pretty close. I'm tempted to say Aaron Jones, but honestly, I'm not ready to give up on Walker yet. I mean, people are giving up on him. It's like, come on. All right, rock out. Trust your gut on that one. Maybe we revisit that one tomorrow. But Walker, Aaron Jones is like dead even. I think Aaron. It's more of a testament to my Aaron Jones belief. Not has anything to do with not liking Walker.
Yeah, it looks like a lateral move.
Yeah. All right, rock out. Appreciate you.
Cool.
Later. Okay, I am out of here. Appreciate you all. I'm on the clock here. I'm going to go ahead and go with, what do I pick right here? Do I go Metcalf, Cooper, Ridley? Jeez, man. I don't know why. I picked Ridley. I'm second in projections. I don't know. That might have been that was the tough pick. Andrews, Ridley, Debo, McCaffrey, Jahmhr Gibbs, Lamar Jackson. I kind of like that team. That was a tough pick. Ridley against the Niners, but I really like Ridley, but that is a tough matchup. Burrow goes to bed at 8 p.m. every night. That's right. He misses our show. He goes to bed when we go live. But that's all right. He needs his beauty sleep. All right, last super chat, and then we're out of here. Michael, trade Puka Higgins for St. Brown. Give me St. Brown. Puka Higgins for St. Brown. Give me St. Brown. Appreciate you all. Russian Collusion with the final super chat of the night. He says, Smitty, you are the best. You are the best, but act like Kirk is trash, ? Says Russian Collusion. He's not trash, but when you compare him to, certain players that I think are highly ranked above him, I think it's a disrespectful offer. It doesn't mean he's trash. Appreciate you, Collusion. Collusion will drop $10 to voice his opinion. I love it. I have Henry Swift at running back and Lamb, Higgins, Kirk, and Dell at wide receiver. Would you trade Higgins for Achane? Only if I like winning, Caden. Would I trade Higgins for Achane? Yeah! As if your team even matters. But this is cute if you think you're going to pull this off, Caden. If this is you coming up with a trade offer and you're going to send it out, it's cute. It's cute. You pull it off, you're a wizard. I'll see you all tomorrow. Live whenever news breaks, Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, every Monday through Friday. Appreciate you all. Thank you for all my super chatters. Thank you to Sean with the $50 hauler. Sean, you monster, you. Thank you to Ray G with the $20 hauler. Ray G to the moon. Appreciate you, Ray G. And then we've got Sean Patrick with the 20 watt on screen. Thanks to Collusion for that 10 that he just dropped. Appreciate all of you. We've got Red with the $20 hauler. Red to the moon. Chris S with the $20 hauler. Chris, appreciate you. $20 hauler to the moon. Josh Daniel, 20 watt on screen to the freaking moon. Josh G Money, $20 hauler. My guy. Again, Josh Daniel, thank you. G Money to the moon. DeBalt with a 20 watt on screen. DeBalt, you monster, you. You menace. All of you, appreciate you. See you all tomorrow. I'll be live when news breaks and live Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern, and live graveyard shifts. Usually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the graveyard shifts. So catch you later. Deuces.